Good day, good night, shalom, wassalam, niha, and all of the universal greetings back in
What's
the
up?
lab. One more again.
Yep.
I got my brethren with me from another mother, old school brethren
Old school.
from back in the day. Um, co-host of the problematic cookout, a
Yep.
whole load of other different things. Welcome to the broadcast rock. What it do, sibling?
Thanks, my bro. Thanks, man. Thanks for taking out some time to sit down with me and chop it up. You know what I mean? Go back to some old school, but also some, some futuristic stuff and, just educating as we do day by day, man.
It's shiggity, man. Edutainment is most definitely key on the agenda today.
Mm-hmm.
So before we even go into the thing, man, for the siblings them who haven't got a clue, who the hell is this Noble's brethren from back in the day? Who's this? Break it down,
Yeah,
sibling.
man. Yeah, man. Originator coming from Birmingham. Lived there, quite a few years of my life, for most of my life, and then, took a trip, moved down south, lived down there, experienced life. And now I've just, come across the pond to the right side of the pond, not the US, but the Canadian side. And, I'm just trying to live life and build even more. You know what I mean? Just getting involved in quite a lot of things in terms of, media and digital technology and, just trying to educate people wherever and whenever I can, you know, from the technical side of things for to day-to-day things in life,
Yeah.
things I've experienced and gone through. I always want to be sharing those experiences to help other people, when they're in uncertain situations, they can glide through it a little bit more easier. Also, they can feed back to me and make my life and improve my life at the same time, so that's my main focus in life, just trying to build, enjoy, making sure other people's lives are enjoyed too, deliver content, may that be, verbally, musically, graphically, video wise. I've always been, trying to put something out there, something that educates people, but also entertains. And, that's one of the main
Mm,
reasons that we're here in this world, man. We're not here just for ourselves, but we're here for other people and to make other people's lives interested and eventful.
true indeed, sibling. And
Mm-hmm.
hence the motto or the mantra, each one teach
Teach one.
12. Teach 12,
12, teach
sibling.
12. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we done
For real
switched
though.
up the whole language of the game, man, for the past, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because the each one teach one, that was when we were coming up. Yeah.
Mm,
Now we're standing on the shoulders of our
yeah,
ancestors and foreparents and shit, man. So
for
we've
real.
elevated the game, man. And because this shit's moving so quickly, look how
Hmm.
quickly 2020 went. Just like that.
You know, one minute your eyes are closed, the next minute you're in 2021.
This is it, man. So the goal is to live life, be happy,
Mhm.
to impart as much information as possible, to get those jewels from those unexpected places, to
Mhm.
not be a jealous king and keep all those jewels to your goddamn self, which
Yep.
some people are very good at, you
Mhm.
know. It's to impart that information to give people opportunities and avenues to make potentially better decisions rather than raw I had to go through that mistake to realize what the thing is. And yo, no,
Yep.
no, no, we're here, there's people here who are going to provide information, who are going to give you a blueprint, so you can
Yep.
say, you know what, I'm going to fuck that blueprint off and I'm just going
Mhm.
to do it my way. Or yo, I
Mhm.
had it, I got the information and I used it.
Yeah. Yeah. For real, man. That blueprint that passed on to people, like you could get the blueprint for something, right? And you could be like, I'm gonna build something better off that.
Mhm.
But without the blueprint, you're starting from scratch. You don't know nothing. You got to go and do the surveying. You got to make the contacts. You got to bring all the information together, and all that time you're wasting. When someone could give you a blueprint and like say, okay, I like the look of that, or this could change. We could work on that. We could build that. And before you know, you're 100 steps ahead of saying, F all that. I'm gonna go, to the ground level and start from scratch. So people need to really look at it like that. People might give you some information. Yes, it's not always going to be the right information or the correct information, hidden in there. But from that you can see, oh, that's wrong because I should be doing this, rather than being the ground level and not know anything and have to research it yourself from the beginning. So
Yes.
you know,
Foundation is the key to everything. You have a
hmm
shaker foundation building a house, what happens, Rock?
so I'm saying the house is gonna crumble, man. It's gonna crumble
Oh,
quick.
crumble, boss.
you
Remember the
know.
3 pigs and shit, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? You're gonna know what you're building your house out of, man.
That's the thing, man. Knowledge is power, man. Knowledge is infinite, and knowledge is the key to success ultimately. Proper
hmm
proper education always corrects errors.
Yep.
So many acronyms out here, my
hmm
very poignant if you just examine them and ultimately absorb them.
hmm
You be the change for yourself. Ultimately, the key is here, as I say, edutainment and to uplift fallen
Yep.
humanity. That at this current state, or at this current state of play and this time, this Gregorian 2021,
Mhm.
we got a whole load of sheep out here, man.
Yeah, man.
Whole load,
Yeah.
sibling, man. I mean,
And
from
they even following the shepherd.
nah,
They're following other sheep.
mm, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like everything has gone. It's gone in reverse.
Mm.
So bad is good and good is bad.
Yep.
Raw,
Yep.
simple. If you're talking anything of any kind of righteousness, people look
Yep.
at you like, what the fuck? Wait, what? Huh?
Yep.
Nah, 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 nah. That was the olden days. That was.
Yep.
It's 2021 now. You can
hmm
do I thou will be the whole law.
hmm
No rules, no consequences, free sex.
Yeah. Yeah. And people don't understand what you're giving away.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Or what you're taking as well from other people through those types of interactions. As much as it's a fun time and you enjoy what you're going through and that, but there's a change, there's an exchange going on
yeah,
during during any kind of interaction, and people really need to know what they're giving away and what they're taking.
definitely.
You
And
know.
as you say, on a physical level, when you
hmm
and how things are to these days. I mean, when we were coming up, we had
hmm
to have those Jimmy hats. A Jimmy
Yeah,
hat
man.
was that you had your wallet, you had your
hmm
watch, and you had your Jimmy hat and some money. That
Yep.
was it. Even if
Yeah.
you didn't even need to be thinking of like, yeah, I'm going to link so and so. No, no, I've got a Jimmy hat just in
Yeah.
case.
Just in case, man.
But like as I say, it's nah, we're gonna roll.
Mm.
Jimmy hat. Nah, man, Johnny. Nah, 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 nah. We're going raw,
Yeah.
boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And
I
then
mean, they're going raw with people that they don't even know, have
mm,
no understanding of who the person is, the background, who they've been mixing with. They don't even know the person's daddy.
daddy, this is the
you
damn
know,
thing.
I don't even know where a person lives, and they're just like ready to just be like, you know what, I'm all out here to take everything I can, and I mean good and bad. Like,
Just for the filling, man. Just for the
yeah,
filling, sibling. That
and then the
temporary.
feeling, yeah, that temporary feeling. Sorry to cut you.
Now go you.
Yeah, man, because we all know as men, you know what I mean, that feeling before, you're like, yeah, 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 yeah. You get in there, you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. After that, it's like, why?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Really? If you don't have no connection with the other person, it's like, I'm ready to roll. You know what I mean? And it's like you went through all that emotion, all that energy, and all that stuff that you sharing with the other person just to come out the other end. Like, you know what
Mm.
I mean? I could have just finished myself off in the washroom and just been done, and then just got on with 2 extra hours of my day.
Mm.
you know?
And then not this sibling, let's not even forget about the expense, the emotional expense, the
hmm
financial expense that may have come along with these charades. You know
Yep.
what I mean? I mean, don't get it twisted. We do have these transactional relationships where people are on like these Tinder apps and whatever, and
hmm
the swipe left thing, and it's just like real strange. Like, yeah, come to my house and do
Yeah.
the thing, and then I'll never ever speak to you again, kind of thing. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. You're
Like, it's
devaluing.
totally. I mean, isn't the ultimate goal like maybe like we are old school.
Mm.
I see this like, but
yeah.
from when we were coming up, the goal was like, you know, you find your way through being a young male, young
Mm.
adult. You know, you have a little bit of fun. You find a
Yep.
woman or a young girl, and then
Hmm.
you're with that person, and you have a relationship. You get married. You know, if you're that way inclined, and
Yep.
you have children and shit, and you create
Hmm.
and build a life.
Yep.
It's almost like that's not the plan anymore. There's no like
Yeah.
I want to have married. I want to be married. I want to have kids, aka
Yeah.
baby goats and shit. You know what I'm talking about? But I don't want to be married to no one. I don't need to be in the same household and all this
Yeah.
stupid shit.
There's no searching anymore. It's like, I've gone through a majority of my life, being in relationships, but my main thing was, if I was with somebody, I was with somebody.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like, it's just my thing on the side, and I got thing on the side over there, and da 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 da. You know what I mean, if I spent time with somebody and we got into, that physical side of things, I committed in terms of saying we're in a relationship.
Yes.
You know what I mean? No matter you know, how things were in life, I always felt that if I was with somebody, I'm with somebody. I'm gonna let you know that I'm with you, because I
Mm.
want you to reciprocate the same thing. I want you to put in the same amount of time and energy to see where this can go. And sometimes, a lot of the times it hasn't gone where we wanted it to go, but we've had an understanding to a point where I can honestly say, I've been in relationships, and now I know there's no one out there that has, malice or remorse, against me, because I've always kept it real.
Yeah.
If things haven't been going the right way, I'll let you know if things are not going the right way. And then, if we have to move on and go separate ways, we go separate ways. It's never been like, I want to stay here until I disrespect you to the point that you want to leave. Because
Mm.
when it comes to disrespect, it's like, that's when this isn't supposed to be. If you can't work on developing and making things better from that situation and understand where you went wrong, and that comes from, both sides of the table, me and the other person. If
Mhm.
we can't grow and build, or even want to build and grow, we should separate.
Yes. Because as
You know what I
as
mean?
as the saying is, build or destroy.
Mm-hmm.
So continuing a tumultuous relationship with no goal in sight or no aim in sight, it's just
Yep.
destruction.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And people will stay there because, it's comfortable. I'm comfortable being, not investing and just, taking it easy. And then
Mm.
that's what happens. They start going out there and having multiple relationships on the side that they don't care about. They don't care about that person, and they don't care about the person at home. It's like, where you trying to go? If you're not happy, yes, I'm not saying instantly jump up and leave, but you need to think to yourself, well, what's gonna make me happy in life? What do
Mhm.
I need to change within myself? Or do I need someone who's more in sync with my needs and wants, and that I can also reciprocate the same thing? But a lot of people
100%.
don't think like that. It's just I'm in it for now. See what happens later on. Move around, do
Hey,
this. I got
simply.
one life to live.
Hey, that was just that YOLO thing, but it's almost like they're on this Highlander vibe where they're gonna live for forever.
Yeah.
Like just like yo, don't worry about. I ain't even thinking about none of that, man. I've still got another 175,000 years to live, man. Don't worry about that.
You know what I mean? They're counting out everything that they've been smashing for the last how long. It's like, yo, I hate to get this ultimate number or something. The
Yes.
ultimate number that they haven't even put down for themselves.
Mm,
They're just continuing, just bowling through. It's like, if it makes you happy in life at the time, fair enough,
yeah.
go ahead. But you just got to really think about what you're putting out there in the rest of the world.
Definitely. It's about experiences. And as you say, having those experiences can be valuable, but at the same time, when
Hmm.
you're a 30-year-old male or female, for instance, 40s, 50s, and you still got that adolescent arrested development mindset, we have
Yep.
problems. Because at
Hmm.
that stage, most of those people who are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, they have children. And if
Yep.
they've got children, those children are not going to be from one person.
Hmm. Yep.
Trustfully it is, but most than likely it's going to be with a lot of different people.
Yeah.
What? So we've got a family of a mother, a single mother, and let's
Hmm.
say three children, and those
Yep.
three children have three different baby fathers.
Hmm.
That's four separate families coming together
Yep.
to bring forth or to raise children, and there's no security, there's no
Mm.
cohesiveness there, there's quote unquote baby mama drama,
Yep.
when what
Baby
we
mama
should be
trauma
doing,
is a
you
thing.
know what I'm saying? The key is, and the whole fact of this whole thing is that those chromosomes came together in the act of two physical beings coming together, male and female,
Hmm.
to procreate, and you've created life. That is a massive responsibility, man.
Yep.
That is a massive um honor.
Yeah.
And you've got it's like it's totally devalued to the point that I'm gonna allow the government, or I'm gonna be on Section 8 housing. I ain't gonna do nothing for myself, you know what I mean? And there's 3 to 4 or 5 generations of family on
Hmm.
welfare or on assistance and shit, man, with no goals, nothing in sight, not trying
Hmm.
to do nothing for themselves.
But
Misery
you know
loves
what? There's like two sides to this.
hmm
I kind of feel, just from experience and, seeing people grow and develop and things like that. And I really think it focuses a lot on what do you want out of life? Because some people will be in this life and they just be okay with the basics. Their ambition is to be a parent and nothing else. I
Yes.
mean, some people can be just so focused on, I just want to be a parent. I want to have a child and then just be a parent. And it's like, okay, we want to be a parent to multiple children. Yeah.
hmm
But one of my key things that I've always like really focused on is the fact that I actually want to live life as well and enjoy it
hmm
from many different angles, from being a parent, from being an individual, from being, in a relationship, from
hmm
being a son, an uncle, many different angles of life. But I just don't want to just, you know, put myself in a particular box and stay there. But for some people, they're happy with it. You know what I mean? The only
Yeah.
problem comes is when, you have many different families having to connect together, and the level of communication, is it effective? Does it flow well?
hmm
Are people really thinking about the positives of what they're doing and not just being selfish from, certain acts that they follow through with, and just think, well, if you're not thinking my way, then it's the wrong way. And all those kind of things, especially when you have multiple families and multiple,
Yeah.
parents, that's when it gets super hard, because people will block out other people and be like, oh, I can't deal with all these differences, so let me just do it my way.
Mm.
And then when things don't go right, that's when it's like, well, this is what I decided to do or whatnot. But there's many different inputs that could have added value to your situation and to your
Exactly.
surroundings. But then you got the negatives coming in. So for them, it's kind of like, well, who do I listen to? Oh, I don't want to listen to anybody. I'll just do it myself.
And this
But then
is
you
where
may not be capable of it.
exactly that you may not be capable of it. And this is where we jump in the DeLorean and we go back
Mhm.
to when we had that first date. And then we look at,
Mhm.
okay, well, when I was coming up, there was something called, well, sorry, when we were coming up, there was
Yeah.
something called courting.
Yeah, man.
You'd be in town, you'd see a little slimmy,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, hey, yo, wait a minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. And you go over there, wrinkle the thing, you know what I'm saying? And then, you get the number, you'd have a conversation, you spend probably an hour
Hmm.
on the phone getting to know her and all that. And then after you've
Yep.
done that, okay, when we're gonna meet? And you meet
Yeah.
up. And you as an adolescent teenager, you want to hit same time, but
Yeah.
based on the conversation, that this is
Hmm.
highly unlikely. Um,
Hmm.
you probably go to first base, as they say.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you do that, and you go to pictures, and you go to McNasty's after, have a little burger and whatever. You know, you do that, you walk it to the bus stop, and
Yeah, man.
yeah. And then the second date comes, third date come, fifth date come. Trust me, before the fifth date come, you've done what
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's that process, and then in that time, you've met the pops, you've met the mom,
Hmm.
the uncle, maybe the sister, the brother, the friends. You know what I mean? Because you know how these decisions are. Then,
Yeah.
as soon as you link them, I'm taking you to see my friend. Them, I want to show
Yeah.
off the new man in my life, kind of thing. Yeah.
And that is a key thing that's missing from a lot of the, interactions between man and woman nowadays, man. See that friend is a key thing that's missing, man. And I'll go into a little bit more of it in just a moment. But sorry, carry on.
No. Cause do it, man. Do it. Flow
So
simply.
when, as you say, we were courting back in those days, right? And you were in town or whatnot. You got to see somebody, and you got to see who they hung around.
Yep.
You know what school they went to, or what college they were going to. And then you'd build an understanding of who this person is, what area they from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to really build an understanding of who this person is, who's their background. Then even if you start dating them, most likely you're gonna meet up with the friends. Our friends would meet up with their friends, we'd know them, and vice versa. It was never like a one-on-one relationship. You understood who the person was, where were they coming from, where were they going in life, and you can see that from the circles of people that they hung around. But nowadays, because of this swipe thing,
Yeah.
you only dealing with that one person. You don't know nothing else about that person unless they want to show you that. And by the time they show you that, probably 99% of the time, it's too late.
It's hella too late because with this social media thing, unfortunately, and this is not unfortunately because people do this. Everybody does this. We like to make good impressions. If you're a decent person, you want to make a good impression
Yep.
with someone you meet.
Yep.
So, if you're someone who let's go wild now. If you're someone who digs out their nose constantly, yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure we know colleagues in the office who constantly upping at them nose, right? But like for that person, they know that's not necessarily acceptable, so they're gonna tone down the nose picking. So
Yeah, for
we
real.
we put up a certain facade to to present to represent yourself correctly. Now
Yeah.
the difference is now that's a physical interaction. Social media, it's all about the gram.
Yeah.
You're waking up, you got these weirdos and they're waking up and they're immaculate in bed, your hair all done and everything. Oh, I've just woke up today. That
Yeah, man.
come on.
Yeah. Even that side of the dating thing is just like, yo, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for a man, it's dangerous for a woman. And the reason why I say that is from a perspective of, you're gonna show me all the best of you. Yeah. And we talk, if we talk about physical appearance, right? Extra eyelashes, you know, extra long fingernails, extra hair, the makeup, all these kind of things that you're adding on. And fair enough, if that's what you want to do, fair enough, that's cool for you. But what people need to understand is when all that comes off, yeah, and that person sees you for who you are, you need to be prepared for them to say, this is not what I signed up for. I'm not saying it should be all about that, but you could build a relationship with someone like that and then really get to really love them and know who they are. And when all that comes off, they're still the same person to you. But there are other people out there that need that level of beauty. And
But
I mean,
you're
any
right.
degradation of that, they're just kind of like, they can't deal with it.
You're right, Rock. But at the same time, it's a 50-50 kind of thing because if the woman who is, as I refer to them as, doing the Decepticon stuff and transforming themselves into something totally different to what they are naturally, we've got a problem. Unless you're going to say, hey, Steve, I don't really look like this still, I've contoured up my nose and this and that, as long as you're blessed with that, we're gravy. And that's where the disconnect happens. And also, I mean, I'm going back many, many moons. Actually, no. Let's not even go back many moons. I've had conversations with brethrens who have said to me that, like, after the night's done or whatever, and the next day or whatever, you don't even see the girl. She's off ski. She's off ski before you even woken up. She's in the bathroom, and she's back out looking exactly the same again. So you don't even
Yeah,
get an
man.
opportunity to actually think, oh, well, yeah, man, she looks pretty much like how she looked at the club, or where I
Yeah.
met her. Da, da, da. She's
Mm.
keeping up. She's doing the what is it, Miss Bouquet, keeping up appearances.
Keeping up appearances. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like it's really a mental condition, as much as everybody's doing it or whatnot. But you relate that to how a man looks and behaves,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, we, shave our beards and clean up and whatnot. But I could roll over in bed, wipe two matter out my eye, and
Mhm.
I'm the same person.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm the same physical presence that you saw. I don't, put on extra layers and try and puff up my chest and do stuff like that to be like, yeah, then tomorrow I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's 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 something that I think people need to start, thinking about in more depth, and really realize why they doing it.
Mhm.
Why do I need to, keep up these appearances that are not really who I am? Just be who you are and be happy with it.
Yeah.
Like everyone else might have a different view of, how you look or whatnot, but that's how you look.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
And that
it's
look might be a work in progress, Rock.
exactly because what we looked like when we were 13, 14 compared to what we are now is way different.
Mhm. Mhm.
I kind of feel like as we grow, like our features, we grow into our features.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we become more handsome as time
Mm.
goes on.
And you don't know melanin don't cridak.
Exactly. You know what I mean? As long as you maintain and you eat the right foods and you keep your exercise going and things like that, you have the benefit of having these genes that over time develop and get better.
How many examples have we got from STG days where there were cisgenes either a year above us or the year below us, and then come new term, they come
Yeah.
looking like, who's that? Or
Yeah.
even school days come and gone, and then you see them out on road, and they talk, they'll say, oh, what do you do, Rock? What's going on, Noble? And like, who's this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to go to school with you. And you're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Age like
And
wine, sis strength.
yeah. And then, but at the same time, there's two sides of that.
Oh, of
There was the
course.
people that looked hot. Yeah, they were the hottest thing, and you just be like, yo, if I could get with that, yo, how come mama's doing with that? How did they get her and that? And then you're like, back then you're like, oh, I wish I could have been with that.
And it,
And then 10 years, 15 years later, you look at that person, you're like, boy,
what
no,
happened?
God did me a favor.
Yeah, for sure. And it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're
Mm,
a pretty girl at school,
yeah,
or at college, embrace it while you can, because unless
yeah,
you put in
man.
that work and live good and whatever, you are
Hmm.
not gonna keep that up. You're gonna,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's gonna
you
change,
gotta
man.
you gotta keep it up, man. If you're a certain way, you need to then think to yourself, how do I maintain this? How do I keep this? And I mean, that's eating right, living right,
Mhm.
and that includes, how you interact with other people and your mental health and how people see you, you know, exercise, and then just building on yourself in your career because all those things, impact your mental, your
Mhm.
physical, how you look, how people perceive you,
Yes.
all those kind of things. Because you could be the hottest looking chick, but really you're garbage.
Mm.
And I mean, I might see you for a little bit and think, yo, fire.
Mm.
Get to learn about who the person is. You're like, you know what? They don't even look that nice to me anymore. That's all.
Yeah, inside the internals are looking real ugly and bumpy, man. I can see
Yeah,
those,
man.
a little spot here. I can see some, some celly
Yeah.
here.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Some of
man.
that some of that garbage juice is leaking out, man.
And this is where we circle back, and it is so important again through the courtship to
Mhm.
understand how compatible are we as individuals? How
Yeah.
compatible we as a unit, i.e., my peer group, your peer group, and then most
Hmm.
importantly, the bloodline. Can these two
Yep.
bloodlines come together?
Hmm. Yeah, man. And it's deep because sometimes you think about just the relationship of you with the other person. It's kind of like, yeah, I can deal with this or whatnot. But then, like you say, you start thinking about where you want to be in 10 years.
Mhm.
How you're going to interact with them, their family, their friends. At the beginning, yeah, it's just you and them because of the day and age that we're living now. You're just seeing that person, but it will expand later on, and you gotta know if you're gonna be comfortable in the next 5-10 years to still be in that relationship.
1,000. I mean,
You know.
everything we're touching on now has, or what we've built on, I should say, has tremendous implications in regards to the last year, 365 days,
Hmm.
and this current 2021, because
Yep.
people have been socially distancing, isolated, they've been stuck in their houses. So those people who don't necessarily have a good relationship are stuck indoors.
Yeah, you gotta deal with that person.
You've got to
It's
deal
not
with it.
like it's not like okay, I can deal with this person for like from 7 to 12 every day, and then on
Mm,
the weekend I can just get out and
mm,
we can just live and get on with it. When you gotta stay in that house 24/7,
yeah.
the other person, you really see and understand who you are
Yes.
and who the other person is.
And
And I think it's a good challenge for everybody. The 2020 was a good challenge for many people because you know there's many major things that they've changed about themselves or about the relationships that they've been in.
mhm. It's make or break. It was a make or
Yeah.
break year. And I think this year again is going to be a make or break because people are
Hmm.
forced to, to look at the man in the mirror or the woman in
Yeah.
the mirror. Like,
Hmm.
shit, I thought everything was okay. Well, no, it's not, because
Yeah.
let's break down the prescribed 24 hours. Generally,
Hmm.
people speak for 8 of those hours, so
Hmm.
we got a little less time. So, okay, let's just do it from we wake up. We wake up, let's say we're talking about a 2.5 family household. So mother and father wake up, mom does the
Hmm.
breakfast. Let's do the stereotypical thing. Mom does the
Hmm.
breakfast. Dad takes one of the children to school, and the mom takes the other one to school. They go to
Yeah.
work. Yeah. After the children have finished school, they then go to the after lunch school, after club school, whatever the hell it's called. Yeah. Or they go to the babysitter. 6 o'clock
Yeah.
now, the mum comes and picks them up, or the dad go, yeah, yeah, finish work, or 6:30, whatever time that they pick the
Yeah.
children up them, and then they'll go to McNasty's, for instance, and get the fast food thing,
Yeah.
or they'll come home and just whack something in the oven, da da da. The
Hmm.
youth them, they've just about said hi, mom and dad. They've got their head, in their tablet or in their damn fiddle,
Hmm.
doing whatever the hell they're doing. They run straight in upstairs and they're hooked on killing people on a game or whatever the hell
Yeah.
they're doing. Yeah. So
Hmm.
there hasn't been that unpacking of the day. Yo, what's going on? Da 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 da. Food's
Hmm.
ready. They send a text up to the youth them and say, yeah, your food's ready. The
Yeah.
youth then stomps downstairs, gets his food, goes straight back upstairs. Where's the talk? Where's the interaction? What's going on? How
Yeah.
come they sat down at a table? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's been your life until the Carlsberg virus
Mm.
got hold of the whole world, apparently. Yeah. So
Yep.
now your youth ain't at school. So
Yeah.
you're not at work. So you wake up and you're working from home now with a laptop, and
Yeah.
you've got to now, okay, I've just woke up. Yeah, I've got to do my work, which is a stressful job anyway. Maybe you're actually taking
Hmm.
calls as well with this here. Your
Yep.
husband's doing the same thing. All your children are in the house. So then we're all together, we're all on top of each other. And
Hmm.
I kind of, after this 3 months have gone, bloody hell, I didn't know my kids, my baby goats acted in such a flipping way. What on
Yeah.
earth? Yo, I didn't know my husband felt. I've heard him talking to his mates on the. Yo, I didn't know he fought like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's deep, man. Like, when we stand back from 2020, if we were to list all the new things that we've learned,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be the most we've ever learned in 1 year. It probably take 10 years for us to learn that level of information about the people that we're around, because we've had to be with that person 24/7. We've had to learn different ways of how to communicate with them, how for them to communicate with us. We have to teach them certain things,
Yes.
and when you're in a household with your partner, and then you have children in there as well. There's some people that don't even like their children. They're waiting for their children to get to a certain age, yeah, so they can say, oh, those bad years are out of the way, or get out the house. But they can bide the time because they know I ain't gonna deal with this kid most of the day. They're gone to school. I'll just deal with them on the weekend, or they're going out after school to play with their friends or whatnot. But when these kids can't even go out,
Yes.
the same energy that they needed to pass away when they were out with their friends using all kinds of profanities and running up and down the street or whatnot, they gotta bring that to you in the house.
That is it. And it's a culture shock. It's a culture shock. It's
Mm,
absolute culture shock.
yeah,
And then looking at the side where you've got maybe abusive parents, that poor
yeah.
child or the poor
Mm-hmm.
wife is locked up with an abusive husband or an abusive
Yep.
mother. And, like,
Mm-hmm.
what are we doing? The poor people who can't damn feed, they literally live. I mean, most people live, check to check to a point,
Yeah.
but you've got
Mm-hmm.
people who are brockers, man, brockers,
Yeah.
and they're going to the damn food banks and all this stupid
Yep.
shit. They're sending their children to get food at
Mm-hmm.
school, man. Like, what kind of,
Yeah.
Rock, what, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Did we know anybody at school that came for school lunch because I didn't have any food at home?
You know what I'm saying? And people, like, they will be like, okay, like parents be like, okay, for this week they're at school. I ain't gonna worry about the school dinners. There's
Yeah.
people that I knew that used to come to school, and school dinners, yeah, was the only meal that they really had for the day. They go home and probably have like some little snacks or whatnot.
Mhm.
But school dinner was a it's not even dinner, it's lunch. But we used to call
Lunch.
it school dinner. You know what I mean? That tells you the fact that if you're at school and you're calling it school dinner, because a lot of people that was their main food for the day.
Yeah. Hot meal as well. We're talking hot
Mm,
meal. Uh, you know,
yeah.
what was it back when we were going to school? It would have been what, 20, what was it, 22 pence for a pack of Walker's Crisp.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And a nothing boss. Yo, whole 2 packets of them. Grab
Yeah.
yourself some fucking lilt. That's you,
Yeah.
man.
You could get 10 pence Space Invaders or whatever it was. You know what I mean? If you could afford the Walkers, you went to the Space Invaders and you made do.
This is the thing, man. And then as we're highlighting, Lords of the Underground, sleep for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have
Yep.
literally, and they're doing it now as we speak.
Yep.
That Rashford, local footballer youth.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the praise he's getting just for just doing something proactive and pro righteous in regards to saying, "Yo, I'll fund the thing, them boss, because these youths
Mm-hmm.
ain't eating."
Yeah,
Should it,
man.
should it be the place of a damn little youth footballer to be saying this shit?
You know what I mean? And government taking everybody's money and fucking up the wall. Excuse my French, but
The show, it's
that's the shit that just gets me triggered, man.
it's very very interesting times, and trust me, through this build, people are going to be getting some nuggets and some jewels or some paths and some options where, like, raw, I didn't even think of
Mm-hmm.
that. Okay, yeah, maybe, yep. Okay, this is the time to actually sit down. Let's institute family dinners again, not just a Sunday thing. Let's actually
Yeah.
sit down and have a dinner together at a table with a knife and
Yep.
fork. Yeah, let's not
Mm-hmm.
go to no takeaway business. Let's all go into the kitchen. Yeah, what we're
Yeah.
making, we'll decide what we're gonna make, and let's all contribute. You cut the carrots,
Mm-hmm.
you do the veg. You know what I mean? Da, 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 and let's cook
Yeah,
something.
man. Everyone play their part. Learn to prepare a meal. So when you get to that point where you can say, "All right, Dad. All right, Mom. I'm cooking today." You know what I mean? You've shown them all the small steps in between that, and you had fun,
Mhm.
and you were able to share some time. You can speak about other things that, you learn how to make something new. You give reasons as to how do you know how to season this meat?
Hey,
How do you know?
most
Sorry.
importantly, Sibin,
Mm.
how do you wash and
How
clean
you
that there
wash the
first?
clean thing for real, innit? Yeah. When did I use the vinegar or when did I use the lime or the lemon?
Yes, you know the ones.
You know? So why do you do that? You explain it's the natural, cleanser.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And for them to understand, okay, yes, we have chemicals to do other things, but we have natural things for when it comes to food.
Exactly.
Why we do that? Where's this
This,
food been before it even got to our table?
un- this is
You
the
know?
thing. I mean, we see so many times. I mean, and also people, we're so much into, okay, if it's on television, it must be factual,
Mm.
it must be true. These people are experts, you know what I mean? So if they're
Hmm.
taking out a piece of meat from Sainsbury's and just
Yeah.
pushing it down on the table on the chopping board, sprinkling some salt and pepper upon or something there, yeah. People think that's blessed, and in 1 minute, 3 minutes, yeah, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
lightly press my fingers down on the thing, yeah. That means it's done. Yeah, I'm gonna flip it over another 2 minutes on that side. Yeah, man. You see the blood running through it and all those chicken, yeah, and people think that's the thing.
Yeah. Or if these people like they might take something out of the freezer, right? And because it says 15 minutes, they're putting it in for 15 minutes. They even checking to see is this thing cook inside, Oh, it says 15 minutes, yeah. Bang on 15 minutes to take this out and eat it. It's like, no, it's a suggested time.
This is it. Depending on the size of your oven, if it's
Yeah.
convection, if it's electric, if it's gas, you know, I mean, come
Did you
on.
preheat the oven? Did you know what I mean? And some of these people are like, oh, it says 15 minutes, so I'll turn the oven on and just put it in. No.
Food poisoning, all kind of thing. Them, you know, what I mean,
You know?
a hint to the wire should be more than sufficient, but with the lack of sense,
Hmm.
not common sense, no such thing.
Yeah. It ain't that common, man.
It's far from
It's
common, man.
mad.
It's like a
Yeah.
a, a semi-precious diamond somewhere, you know what I mean? This shit is
Hmm.
rare, boss. And in critical
Yep.
thinking, they've
Yeah.
that what? Critical? Don't ask questions. No, man. My
Mm.
man's a doctor. You can't question him. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. He's a scientist, man. Hold up, they're on TV, man. What the hell? What are you talking
Yeah.
about, Noble? What are you talking about? What have
You
you
know what I mean?
studied? Who are you?
Yeah, man. Because these people think, oh, these people go, they study for, 7 years or whatever it is. They must know everything. They don't.
They don't.
They know what's been taught to them, how they've been taught how to think, how
Yes.
to, how to dispense drugs.
Hmm.
Not to how to, go around and find other ways of, you know, using certain foods that you eat or, natural remedies and things like that, because that's not what they learn. They didn't learn about nothing natural.
Mm,
So they have to use the synthetic.
indeed. Which is just a plaster. It's a well,
Hmm.
as the Americans would say, a band-aid. Yeah,
Yep.
upon the
Yep.
thing, right?
Yep.
It's we're not looking at we're looking at symptoms. We're not looking at causation. How can we stop this? The symptoms, which is the root of it, is a cause. So let's go to the
Hmm.
cause and let's try and treat that cause.
Yeah. Yeah.
Multi-trillion dollar industry this pharmaceutical thing is, man.
Hmm.
And with the Carlsberg 45 thing, aka the Colt 45 thing, aka the damn zombie apocalypse, right? They've
Yeah.
got these motherfuckers, these different companies. You got AstraZeneca, the Pfizer, them, and all these people, them putting their guap together, right? And think about these people. You don't pay for this vaccination, yeah.
Mm-mm.
So if you personally don't go to this your local GP and hand over your little debit card and say, here you go, here's the £25 or whatever it is for the vaccination. If you're not paying them out of your pocket,
Hmm.
the government is obviously footing that bill. So if the government's
Yep.
footing the bill, who gets the who gets the money from the government? It's us, right? So we're
Hmm.
paying for this vaccination, right?
Yep.
And they've beaten us in, well, I'll use the word, the term us. They've beaten us into submission to the point where, look, we want to go on vacation again. We want to see family and friends in different countries. Never mind just the
Mm-hmm.
country we're in. We want to roam freely like we could before. We
Yeah.
want those things. And if you're saying we need to take this vaccination, which is going to get rid of it, we are prepared to do that there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care that if you've retroactively done the H1N1 something and retweaked it for the COVID thing, and you've done it within a
Yep.
year, and people have died on the test, which is normal.
Yep.
People do die through this. Yeah, people will die
Mm-hmm.
through lots of different stuff that they take based upon that individual.
Yep.
Everybody is different.
Mm-hmm.
RNA-based vaccination. Again, people, if this is all news to you or you're not even sure what we're talking about, look at what RNA, which is a changing,
Yep.
it's not a static, what's the term? It's not static, it's movable, it's malleable, it can
Yeah.
change, mutate. So
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be putting this into you.
And changing your inners,
This
your
is
genetics.
this is the worry. This is the major worry. This isn't a conspiracy. This is fact.
Mm-hmm.
When you introduce anything foreign, a foreign substance into the body
Yep.
looks at it in many different ways. And if it's a foreign thing,
Yep.
it's going to try to attack it. So that's why they
Yep.
coat it with all these different things, and they put mercury and all these other list of crazy stuff in there and culture
Mm-hmm.
in it. I mean, it's
And
worrying.
disguise it.
They're disguising it, and,
Just,
and and also, as you say, the people dispensing it who have been trained.
mm-hmm.
If we're sitting down, real life scenario, okay, before you inject me with this young nurse, could
Mm-hmm.
you just give me a rundown of what's in the vaccination? And you get
Yeah.
a blank look on her face, and she'll
Yeah.
say, well, why would you want to know that? And you say,
Mm-hmm.
well, just curious. Could you tell me? Oh, without looking at the packets, and the packets that they come in, they don't actually have the ingredients on there. So I'd
Yeah.
have to maybe look online. I said, yeah, no problem. Let's have a
Mm-hmm.
look online and let's actually see what's in there. And then you'll
Yep.
have all these crazy terms. It's nothing of layman wise. So it'll be like
Mm-hmm.
hydroxide, this, da, da, da. Okay, well, what is that? Let's
Yeah.
look at it on the old Google and let's see what that says. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Baby fetuses. Why would that be in a vaccination?
Mm-hmm.
How did it get into a vaccination?
Where did they get it from? How did they culture it?
Culturing vaccinations of aborted baby fetuses is a standard procedure,
Hmm.
along with monkey lungs as well. This is just
Yeah.
insane, Rock.
There's so many things that they're taking from here and taking from there and saying, okay, let's use this, because these vaccines don't just come out of the air. You know what I mean?
Mm,
They're not coming from, a lot of the times they're not coming from natural substances that are coming from the ground.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll have to be cultured from other things that are living, you know what I mean, and made into something that can then be, given to people. And it's scary. It's scary from all angles, from not having it to having it.
Yeah.
Like one of the key things for me that started to raise a flag, right, was I don't know if they've changed the stance on it now, but the UK were talking about, okay, we have enough vaccinations for the first dose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The second dose, we might have to give you one of the other ones.
Yeah. Another brand,
It's
another
like,
alternative. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
it's like, hold on, the people that make this
Mm-hmm.
are saying that you need 2 doses of the same vaccine, and you're
Yes.
telling me you're going to give me the first one and then give me something else later on, and it's supposed to work. It's like, these people didn't even work together. They're in competition. They
Exactly.
create things very differently. They got their own standards and instructions of how to use this, and you're coming up with your own instructions. It's like they're trying to mutate and make it into something else again.
It, it would possibly seem that way, because it even says on all medication, before
Mm-hmm.
taking this, seek advice from a medical practitioner or general practitioner. If you're
Yeah.
taking any of these type substances, do not take the thing.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
mixing medications is a total no-no.
Yeah, just some basic, medications that we take now, like um, I think it's ibuprofen
Yeah,
and aspirin. Them two things don't mix.
don't mix. Blood thinners, one of them is, and the other, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
What?
many people don't even know that, and they just like
Pop.
without reading you get something with instructions when it comes to, you know, things that go inside your body. As much as you can, you need to understand what they're telling you should be doing with it, not just because I seen an advertisement on TV or the doctor said you should use this. Doesn't mean that you throw it straight down your neck. Read those instructions.
Read what's in
You
there.
know, mm? I don't know.
Def-
It's
it's very tricky, and there's going to be, we personally know people who will succumb
mhm.
and take the vaccination, and most high bless them, that they're going to remain healthy and stuff. Me
Mhm.
personally, I don't want anything to do with any kind of needle getting pushed into me with some kind of vaccination in it. Nothing.
Yeah. Like where I'm sitting at the minute, I watch the news every day, right? From all different types of news, not just from the main broadcasters that they
Hmm.
tell you whatever you want, whatever they want you to know.
Exactly.
But I look outside the box of that and see, what's happening, what's developing, what's the impacts of all these different things. And as I'm going along, I'm just trying to understand my position on it.
Hmm.
I'm not jumping into anything right now,
Mm,
nothing at all. You know what I mean? I'm just seeing where this goes
yeah.
day by day and step by step. And then, at some point, I'll have an understanding more as to what I should be doing.
Definitely,
You
definitely. Everything in life is subject to change, and we've got to be able to adapt to that change.
know?
One of the most important things, as I will always say, is do your due diligence in everything you're doing, whether it's
Yep.
relationships, whether it's taking this damn vaccination thing, with
Hmm.
like be utilize prejudice,
Yep.
prejudge things before. Don't just
Hmm.
accept. I mean, I've personally know of medical professions, professionals even I should say,
Hmm.
who have asked me, like, what is your opinion of this Carlsberg 19 virus, young sir?
Hmm.
And I on every occasion have thrown it back directly at them. You're the medical professional. How
Hmm.
do viruses? How can viruses be transmitted? You've done the study. You've spent 6 years, going through university and doing all this thing. You
Yeah.
tell me how this thing works. Because as far as I'm aware of, you can't have a virus just sitting on no damn table for 72 hours being active. Huh?
You know?
Like, what are we talking about? It's like these wizards have just fooled medical
Hmm.
professions, doctors, scientists, intelligent people, even stupid people. They've just
Yeah.
fooled them. Like, just wave the wands, like abracadabra,
Hmm.
click of the fingers. Everything you hear on the news now, just believe it.
No one questions. Well, I won't say no one questions. A lot of people don't question. Someone send you some information. Don't just disregard it. Question it.
Mm.
Look into it because there might be some, element of truth in there which might help you in making the right decisions on anything you do in life. Anything.
Well, you got those. Look at the premiere of was it Australia or New South Wales? One of the female premiere.
Hmm.
Did you see the video of her taking quote? I'm doing air quotes. I know y'all can't
Uh,
see me. Allegedly taking the vaccination. She's sitting down
nah.
there. Okay, so I'll paint the picture. I'll put a link in the description below to see if I can find a nice good one for y'all. So she's
Hmm.
sitting down there, um, in a red little suit, and there's a woman to her left with a needle with the cap on
Mm.
it, sibling, right? And
That's
she
what they
she
call that.
she she
Uh,
doesn't even because obviously any kind of needle thing they wipe first, yeah,
hmm. Yep.
and then they jab, yeah, and then
Mm-hmm.
they wipe again, and then they might even put a little bandage over or a little plaster over because you've just been stuck with something, right?
Yep.
She did none of that. She didn't wipe. She just lifted up her sleeve. It looked like she plunged behind her arm quicker than a
Yeah.
motherfucker. Quick! Pulled it back to the point where the woman goes, and then she just threw her little short sleeve little something down. And the
Yeah.
premier said, "Ooh, I didn't even feel a thing." Well, that's
Yeah.
because
You didn't get that.
not not Naguana. She must have clearly saw that young girl in the wilderness of North America who
Yeah.
who had the ting, and then a few seconds later she didn't feel too good, and the
Yeah.
next thing you know, she was
Mm-hmm.
on the floor fainted. And
Mm-hmm.
then I don't know if you can confirm this or if you've heard as well, but I'm hearing news that she's passed away now,
Ooh.
and you can't find nothing upon the news about that.
Yeah. The amount of things that they shut down. I mean, it's like people really need to look. Like, you can't even believe everything you see.
No, with them deep fakes.
Yeah, man. You know, even things with this president. Yeah. Even the things about him.
Oh,
Like,
well, which one are you talking about? The newly elected president or the old
oh no,
one?
the old one that's about to get his ass kicked out.
Oh, the orange pervert.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like, who's to know some of the things that come out about him are truth
Yeah.
or false? You know,
What
the
are your
way they keep,
opinions? What are your opinions of Mr. Donald J. Trump, who is a Gemini brethren like myself?
yeah, boy, it's well, the key thing for me is how that country has allowed someone like that to be in power,
Mm,
saying that you are the greatest, you know, force
mm,
country on the earth,
yes.
but yet you can allow somebody like that to rule you, whereas anybody in any other country, you know, to move a butt cheek the wrong way, it's like, yo, we got to get this guy, we got to get him out.
Mm, mm,
They send the troops over, take the
mm,
person out,
mm,
and it's okay.
mm.
But yet you can allow this person to sit there and behave in such a manner. You know, this guy's supposed to be the inspiration and the, what's the word?
Leader of the free world, sibling.
Exactly. All these people growing up, even, you know, people looking at him, that's supposed to be the person that, you know, you're supposed to look to and think, yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Mhm.
That's the right way to, you know, to model yourself. He's supposed to be at that level, but yet you allow that person to behave in such a manner. It's like if you had somebody in your house, yeah, and they behave a certain way, you know, that is detrimental negatively to, you know, your surroundings, they gotta go.
Mhm. Mhm.
Everybody in your house needs to say you got to go, and you get turfed out. It's not like, oh, let me see if we can get you out, and, you know, take all this time to see like how much more you're gonna mess up before, you know, we put you out. No, you got to go, man.
Respect my mind, man. If you especially you step foot into the kingdom, you gotta respect the minds. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And as you say, when you take it to that personal level, people get the equation that you're making. You know what I mean, or the analogy that you're making. When we
Hmm.
look at the broader picture, they don't really. Oh, okay, maybe. I mean, he can talk a little reckless. Oh, you know, he's just having a little bit of fun. You know,
Yeah.
he's an
Yeah.
eccentric. You know, da, da, da. He's draining the
Yeah.
swamp, though. Remember, he's draining the swamp of all the pedophiles and all
Yeah.
of the all. He's like, where's the evidence? You know, I've
Hmm.
heard a lot of people talk. You know, a lot of stuff about, he's, and some of the stuff, some stuff that he's done, I
Hmm.
think has been good. I think he's done
Yeah.
some good stuff because he's enabled original folk in the wilderness of North America to
Hmm.
create businesses for themselves, to
Yeah.
flourish whilst he was the president. I wouldn't say all black people, but at least there was a lot more. I think he did more for original people than Barack Hussein Obama did for original people.
Yeah.
And what
Okay.
how could I even how can I even make that kind of analogy? Because the fruit from the tree, from both trees, I can see.
Hmm.
Like Obama gave these Obama phone things out. That was the only thing I could hear that he did anything for black people. He gave them free phones or some stupid shit,
Mm.
right? So you get Trump saying, okay, we're gonna make it so, these people, them, these blacks and minorities, we're gonna give them opportunity to make business, to do business. You know what I mean? We need to have more businesses in America. And why would you need that? Opportunity, more
Hmm.
taxes. Yeah, don't forget the taxes that are going to be coming from these organizations or these companies, these LLCs.
Hmm.
Also, we're going to give, was it is $1,200 for to married couples and shit.
Mm.
Like that's righteous. That is like,
Yeah.
hold up. If you're married, we're gonna pay you. I can't see nothing wrong with that, Rock. I really can't. Outside of
Yeah.
his crazy Twitter rants and all this stupid shit, like, yeah, that's folly. And him
Mm.
co-signing these white nationalists and supremacists and all these kind of people. Yeah, I ain't with
Mm.
all that stuff. But in regards to what he's done, the little bit that I
Hmm.
can see, I ain't got no problems.
But see, the only thing is, I don't condone, any of his behavior or support him, just to make that clear or anything like that.
Oh yes, yes,
But
yes.
if we put it down like this, right? A man could be the greatest dad, the greatest dad ever, but beat the shit out of his wife.
Very true. I like that.
You know what I mean? There's no excusing. There's no excusing, being a wife or woman beater.
None whatsoever.
You got to go,
Mm,
regardless of how great a dad you are. The fact that you are beating your wife in front of your children, as
yes.
much as you're doing things one to one with your children, that is great. You're training and teaching your children so much wrong from
Mm,
your behavior.
yes.
So you gotta go, regardless how much of a great dad you are. You're a woman beater. You are an abuser.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So when we put it like that, yeah, he's done some good stuff, but he's done a load of shit.
Rock, you did it, man. 21 gun salute for that there, man. I love the analogy. That was you brought that home, man. You brought that home 1000%. And it's just like baking a cake,
Mhm.
your favorite cake, chocolate cake, fucking whatever the hell it is, yeah.
Yeah.
But if someone puts in a speck of shit in there,
Yeah.
the whole thing done.
It's game over.
Done it, boss.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, ain't nobody want to eat that.
Hell no. Now, just imagine if they didn't know. So this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is where the 50-50 comes in. This is what they do. There's a
Hmm.
nice cake and it's presented excellent. It's got the little frosting on there. It's got hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands over at the side and shit.
Hmm.
But because you wasn't there when those ingredients were putting in there, you don't know that there's a
Yep.
lump of dog shit that's been finally
Hmm.
chopped up and secreted within that cake, and you're munching that down, Joe. It's got a little bit extra
Yeah.
dimension still, but yo, it's my favorite cake.
Yeah. Yep. And you see what we're talking about now leads on into a next
Yes.
part of what we could be talking about in
Yes.
terms of social media.
Hmm.
You know, say for instance, you're the person that makes this cake with this shit in it, right? You might offer it to other people. You ain't giving it to your loved ones. You know what I mean? You might make a buck off these people that they don't know they eating shit,
Hmm.
but you ain't gonna give it to your parents, your children, your wife, your other half, whoever,
Yes.
your
Hmm.
loved one. You ain't giving it to them. But this social media and this technology that's going on nowadays, these people are creating all these platforms, allowing young people to jump on these platforms, even though initially they were saying, oh, until you're 16 or
16.
whatnot, you can't have Facebook. It
Yeah.
used to be the thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now all these new things like TikTok and all these kind of things, yeah,
Yes.
people are just installing it on their phones where the people that created it say, you know what, Jimmy, you can't use this. You're not
Yes.
allowed to use this.
Mm,
Because they know the impact. They know the shit that's in it. And they're selling to
yes.
everybody else.
Don't know the thing. Listen, Jobs. Did Jobs allow his children to mess with the team?
Exactly.
Most of these elites, quote unquote elites,
Yep.
they, yo, their youths ain't the, they know about
Mm-mm.
social media, but they ain't on it like that.
Yeah.
If they're even on it.
And if they're on it, they have the tools to say, you know what? You get 2 minutes a day and your phone's switching off.
Mm,
They ain't sharing that same ability for the standard person that they want to get them addicted to their application. So
yes.
their leader makes all this money, so it trickles down to them. Mm-mm.
Very pervasive, very subtle the way that it was introduced. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just going back on my journey with social media, when I jumped on Facebook, and I was very late jumping on Facebook, and I used that. The whole reason I jumped on Facebook was to find Black Cat Rock.
Yeah.
I was searching for Black Cat. I was
Mm.
thinking, right, seen this brother. How come, you know what I mean? It's been all these years. I've linked, we still got links with everybody that we came up with
Mm.
pretty much,
Yeah.
apart from the ones who are gone Rising Paradise.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, yeah, man, let me see if I can find this. Because everyone's talking about, oh, Facebook this and da 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 da. So I go and
Mm.
make the profile. Now, you know me, Rock. I
Mm.
didn't put my real name down on that, yeah.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought to myself when it came up, oh, you've got to create an account. It's like, all right,
Mm.
cool. First name and last name. I was like, I'll be damned if I put my real details in this here. So
Yeah.
I just put some stuff in, because I just wanted to get access to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I was on there, and then I started making all these links with the sistrings and brethren in the wilderness of North America, in Canada, in the Caribbean, and there. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, this is an excellent tool. I started building with my own flesh and blood siblings who, in the
Yeah.
wilderness of North America again, which I ain't been able to, because phone costs and all that there and
Yeah.
time zones. So I'm like, yeah, this is an excellent tool. And
Mm-hmm.
I started seeing people. I started to see the rise of the Facebookers, of
Yeah.
like of their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You could click on their profile. They got their telephone number on there. They got their email address. They got their address on the thing. They got
Yeah.
everything, boss.
What school you went to? Who
Oh
you
yeah,
married to?
yeah.
All that.
All of them things on there. I'm thinking, yo, and at that point, I'm thinking, this is um, this is a bit worrying. This is like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna put all that information up, I mean, one, like, you should be careful with your data, with your personal information, because
Mm-hmm.
you've got some crafty people out here who can quickly just get a local card machine,
Yep.
put your name on that there, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about? Or even, yo, look,
Yep.
I just go to their house, I'm gonna go through their bins, find a couple of letters, find a bank
Mm-hmm.
account, boop, I got a little flipping burner, little debit card here, I'll rinse out their accounts. Oh, they're on
Yep.
holiday. Yo, yeah, yeah, let's go to Maggie's house and let's rob that hoe. You
That's the one.
know what I'm
That
saying?
is the one. The amount of people that have had their house burglarized because they wanted to communicate, yes, I'm going on holiday tomorrow. Mm,
Mm, this is the thing. So as I
you
said,
know?
I'm peeping it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this is a bit, this is a bit funky. This is. So
Mm.
I then looked at the start date, Zuckerberg, Facebook. When did this start? When did this thing start? It was like was it oh 04? Did it start?
I'm not 100% sure, you know. Could probably
S-
Google it.
Yeah. So I'm looking at that there now, and then I'm looking at something else because I heard someone talking about that. One of the people that I was enlightened to certain information. They was talking about it's an NSA program. Fuck Facebook, don't deal with that thing. Da, 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 da. I'm like, yo,
Hmm.
bro, don't even worry about that sibling. I said, I ain't got none of my things on there. I said, the most I'll
Yeah.
probably have is my IP, but outside of that, you know what I mean? And I said, you
Yeah.
know what? Even based upon what you're saying, I'm actually start removing my photographs because I was putting my imagery up on that there.
Yep.
And then when I started to doing it, and looking into the T's and C's, they've got anything you post on there is theirs in perpetuity,
Yep.
whether you delete it or not. So I was thinking, raw. I've got me and the Empress and whatever else pictures I don't put up on the book. I'm like, okay. So now look into the CIA program called was it called Lifeline? You hear about that?
No.
Now, Lifeline was a CIA program operation, well, program basically, technology-based company who was doing exactly what Facebook's doing.
Okay.
So they were basically getting people from criminal databases and creating portfolios. And then,
Yep.
strangely enough, that company wound up, Rock. And on the same day, Facebook became the entity, doing exactly the same thing that the CIA company was doing, but for the
Yep.
for the public.
And for the fact that if you saw the application, it said CIA, you'd be like, oh, I'm staying away from that.
It?
Was Facebook? Oh, it's Facebook.
Nice blue.
You know what I mean? It's
Little,
inviting.
little thumb on there as well, you know what I mean?
You know? Hey. It must be good.
Exactly.
Give you
Until
all the little bits of candy to bring you in and start, munching on.
And getting addicted to forget that, like, it's likes on Facebook, is it? I haven't been on there since 2014. Is it likes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, likes
okay.
on Facebook. Yeah.
So for me, because I used to write like essays and shit. I don't think you can actually find me on there, but I used to put essays on there, man. Because I was real interested at that point when I first joined Facebook. I was doing a lot of research on European history and stuff. So I was dropping some jewels on that, man, like 3-page little somethings and tagging people in there. So that was my thing. And then it came to a stage where a brethren thing, Shaitan, was like, yo, because remember there was some iteration. So you were having these periods where Facebook would then say, you need to confirm your name and address and your name and your date of birth or something like that before you can go back in.
Yeah.
And then I remember listening to these are the days of Blog Talk Radio. So we're going to 2009, 2010. And I remember a lot of the hosts were saying, yeah, if you don't see me on Facebook no more, it's because I've had to put my real name down because Facebook wouldn't allow me to da 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 da. And I was thinking, what? I said, so hold
Yep.
up. So you're gonna continue using the platform using your real name. So I logged in straight away and I'm looking, I'm thinking, right, that's your name then. Because they got all these like commission names and all these kind of I saw so and so, but then when you look, it's Timothy flipping Burton or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay, right, okay, yeah, that's so blessed. So then it came to me, Rock, and they were like, yeah, you can't, because I was just like putting the same thing down, noble, 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 noble. And then this time they were like, nah, big boss, you can't do it anymore. We need to see your birth certificate or your passport before you jump back on this platform. And that
Jeez.
was the last time, 2014, around November, December time, I said bye bye. And then I jumped onto my brethren's platform, which he created in Shaitan. I can't remember what the platform was called, but it was cool initially, and then he stopped administrating it properly. But then I said, yo, social media is dangerous. That's when at that point I was saying it's too dangerous.
Yeah. People are so willing to go on and give the real of who they are to people that they don't even know.
Yeah.
The things that we talk about now are things that I'm comfortable in talking about. Like, there's many other things that I know about. You know what I mean? But certain information isn't supposed to be given away. You know what I mean? I'm online and I do things to educate people to start thinking and researching and looking into things that will help them. It's not necessarily me coming in and talking about everything that I'm doing and the intricacies of everything. So people need to really think about when you're going online, what are you sharing? How are you sharing it? And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I've never done anything stupid online. When I say stupid in terms of I should have known better, because I posted stuff on, on my Instagram, and for, oh yeah, I want to make sure people still know what's going on in my life and things like that, and people in the Caribbean, I want them to still know that I'm
Mm,
building and developing and stuff like that. And I just got to a point, like recently, I just realized to myself, I went from not showing anything about myself,
yeah,
then posting a lot about myself
yeah. I
because
noticed, Rock.
yeah, because I wanted to communicate to other people who haven't seen this next point in my life,
Hmm.
to have an understanding of what I'm doing and how I'm moving, and so
And
they I,
where you're at
yeah,
as a person.
yeah, the inspiration I want to be putting across. But then it's kind of like, you know what? I think over the last, probably in the last year, I've sat down and thought to myself, you know what am I doing? There's
Mm,
certain elements of me that I want to share, but there's other elements that I don't need to be sharing, because most of the people that are on there, like, if you don't call me or we don't have any, communication, then
yeah,
is it a biggie to me?
yeah. That's the thing. That's where people fall down, Rock, as you're saying,
Hmm.
and as you've highlighted. And sometimes you need to come to that realization point. Like, what's the purpose? Like,
Yeah.
I'm on IG to promote the podcast,
Hmm.
yeah, and I've got podcast pages for the thing, and then I've got my own thing where I'm
Yeah.
just sharing information. Each one
Hmm.
teach 12. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Listen, you will not find no imagery on me because it's not about the personage. Unless you're
Yeah.
in my close circle, then you're gonna know what the deal is. You're gonna know about the palace. You're
Hmm.
gonna know about the trips and whatever else you want to know. But outside
Yeah.
of that, you need to know what I'm pushing out, what I'm
Hmm.
propagating, which is trustfully edutainment, information, and ways to get your brain back into critical thinking.
Yeah. Because that same thing that each one teach 12, right?
Hmm.
If I teach you something, yeah, and you are able to develop off the back of it, right, to another level, on something that I don't really know too much about, but I know a little bit to share with you. And that's something that now you become more interested in, and you dig deep into it, and you become a professional in that particular area, right?
Hmm.
The fact that we build a type of relationship could be a benefit to me later on as well.
Of course.
You know what I mean? I've taught you something. Oh, I saw my man started to look into this. I need to know more information. I'll go contact them. Yeah, man, I've been into this since you first put it on, when you spoke
Mm,
about this. I mean, I've inspired someone to develop and build, where not just them benefiting from it, I benefit from it down the line.
yes.
You know what I mean? So I taught somebody, they came back and taught me.
Hmm.
And I think that's how it's got to be. Like, if you're just out there just giving away information, giving away information, and you ain't getting nothing back, you're doing something wrong, because your circle doesn't move right.
Yes. Facts. Facts, man. It's reciprocal, man. It's
Mm,
reciprocal. It's a ripple effect, trustfully. And as I always say, we as individuals and the siblings and listeners that are listening to this here now,
mm-hmm.
we are lights of the community.
Yep.
No matter how small the community is, we are the light of that community. And you've got to
Mm-hmm.
continue to do that. It's not
Yep.
about putting the thing on an Ingram. It's not about going on the Twitter and all that. It's about doing, show, and prove.
Yep.
Let's see your works. Let's see the fruit. Like, what are
Mm-hmm.
you doing? How are you moving? You know what I mean? And then in turn, people are going to be like, oh, okay, from a distance, that's the kind of vibe I need to be on. And if
Yeah.
they've got gumption, or if they what could depend on what if they've got a relationship with you, they can say, yo, how did you get to where you're at, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, give me some of these keys, man. Like, yo, I've seen you, you know what I mean? Whatever's pulling their fancy, whether it's they see you in multiple different cars all the time, whether that,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the clothes game, whether it's your holiday game, whether it's
Yep.
just your demeanor and how you interact with people,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna draw them to say, yo, I want to be like that.
Yeah. I mean, I want to take some of what you've got and mix it in with somewhat what I've got,
Mm,
and be even better. You
gumbo
know?
funk style.
Yeah. I like that. you
That's
know?
it, man. That for sure. And that's what it is. Life is a big gumbo. It's a big
Mm,
gumbo. We as individuals, we are pretty much controllers of our own destiny.
Yeah.
Now we've got to be careful and picky of what we're going to put into that gumbo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when you
Yeah.
was over here in my gumbo, I would have all kind of seafood and all kind of foolishness in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as I've grown and as I have developed, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
having no form of shell food in my gumbo no more. It's
Yep.
gonna be lamb, you know what I'm saying? Probably lamb to be fair, maybe a little bit of chicken. Outside
Yeah.
of that, it's gonna be the vegetables and ting and some seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't messing with the whole thing. So it's about you got to be careful and you got to choose strategically. And sometimes through years or even through months, that gumbo
Mm-hmm.
mix might change because
Yeah.
everything in life is subject to change.
Yep. You making something just because you got all the ingredients. Every ingredient in the kitchen doesn't mean you throw it into the pot.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Some ingredients are made for this. So when you're ready to do this, you reach for that. You're ready to do this, you reach for that. But if you throw all that into the same thing, and I mean, and even before you put it in, you smell the thing. You know what I mean? You're gonna use a certain seasoning. You smell it. Yeah, that will go with that because you have
Yes.
an understanding of the last time you cooked it. I needed a little bit more of this, or
Mm,
maybe I could have added this in there with a, added a bit more flavor or whatnot. But you can't just go in there and just be like, I will
yo.
throw all this in there and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be great. Uh-uh.
Hey, listen, sibling. Let me tell you a story. Let me go back. Let me give you an anecdote. The first time
Yeah,
I cooked fish, I can't
yeah.
remember what kind of fish it was. It possibly may have been mackerel or something like that.
Mm,
My mom was like, oh, probably a month before, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna be doing a night shift coming up soon. And
yeah.
because you're a big man now, right?
Mm,
You're gonna
mm,
have to cook this dinner. So I'm
yeah.
like, oh yeah, I don't know, man, yeah, da 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 da. Because obviously, as sons and shit, we watch mommy in the kitchen, seeing what she's doing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever. So I thought, yeah, man, I've got a good idea of what I need to do. I know I can clean the thing and da 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 da. So I
Yeah.
did everything work. I did everything as I'm supposed to do. I get to the
Mhm.
seasoning element now, and I'm thinking, shit, what the fuck am I supposed to be putting on here again? So all right, then I'm like, all right, I'll put some thyme on there. I'll put some mixed purpose mixed herbs on that there, all
Yeah,
purpose. I'll
yeah.
put some fish seasoning on that there. And then my
Mhm.
mom had a couple jars in the kitchen, and she had cinnamon and nutmeg. Oh. So I'm thinking, yeah, which one of these should I put on this motherfucking fish? I'm gonna put both of them on there. Sibling, I put the cinnamon and the nutmeg all over the motherfucking fish, the mackerel, right? I cooked it down nice. I did some white rice. I may have done some vegetables with it.
Yeah.
Come out proper. It looked. I didn't overcook it or nothing. It was like, yo,
It looked like the thing.
it looked like the thing. So I'm kidding. I'm like, yeah, mom's gonna feel this when she gets home, mate. So I'm like, all right, then make her have mine. Rice was blessed, vegetables was blessed, but all I could taste was nutmeg and fucking cinnamon all in the fish. Now, point to this story is you may think you know what you're doing. And as Rock highlighted, you're grabbing everything in the kitchen. Yo, I'm gonna grab that, I'm gonna grab that. Yo, sometimes you just gotta pick up the phone and say, yo,
Yeah.
what seasoning am I supposed to use again?
You know, go to the professional, go to the person who knows about something and just ask them a question.
Get that free game.
Yeah. You build the right connections, you have the right people in your phone. You should have somebody for everything,
Good
you
point.
know? But
Very good point.
building the correct relationships and spending the right amount of time with the right people. Because when we're growing up, we can spend a lot of time with people that can't add any value, can't give you any idea of what ingredient to put in there. You know, they're okay to stand in the kitchen
Yeah.
while you're making it, but ask them what seasoning to put in. They don't know nothing, but they can keep everyone laughing in the kitchen.
Play your
You know what I
parts.
mean? Yeah.
Play your
You
part
gotta
in your
have people in
position.
that kitchen that someone can make you laugh, someone can, educate you, someone can give you the list of ingredients to put into this, and then you sit down and everybody's eating and everybody's getting knowledge and fun. You know what I mean? But you miss out one of those ingredients, something's missing. something's missing from the environment. So you need to make sure you have the right people around you, you know, and the right connections that can add all those valuables of having a sit down meal. You need to make sure you have those people in your circle. You know what I mean?
Facts, 100%
Yeah.
facts. And sometimes that peer group or that circle may evolve and change because
Mm-hmm.
as individuals we grow. Some of us devolute back to childhood and shit, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yep.
And some of us just elevate to a point where it's like, because one thing which I really, but with each year it becomes more and more poignant. Everybody comes into your life for a reason.
Yeah.
And
I have a
also,
saying that goes with that.
and every person has a season. Yeah.
Yeah, I know where you're going next. Yeah.
So it's like me as the type of personality I am. If
Mm-hmm.
I if you're my brethren, as you know, Rock, you're my
Mm-hmm.
brethren all the way, man. I'm riding
Yep.
with you to the damn wheels fall off.
Yep.
And with my downfall in that respect is not knowing when to say, look, I'm gonna just have to let you go for a bit. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? I'm gonna
Yeah.
let I need you to grow
Mm-hmm.
more before we can catch back up again.
Yep.
And I find that real hard to do, man. I find it
Mm-hmm.
really, really hard to do.
Yeah. I think as we've gotten older, right? It's there's a there's a period in our lives where we have to understand who we are as well. You know, we can interact and socialize with people on a level. And as we're going this way, sometimes we have to go that way, you know?
Mhm.
And some people don't understand or can't be like they're not ready to go that way. They're
Yeah.
still on their path this way. But sometimes you have to go that way for a minute to come back. And when you come back, you're bringing something back to this person and vice versa
Yes.
with that person as well. You know, so if I feel any relationship that never has an argument or disagreement, right? There's something missing because you cannot be that in key with somebody because if you are in that type of relationship, there's things that you're not sharing. You're
Yeah.
holding back on saying
Holding
certain
back.
things because you feel like, oh, this person's gonna feel a way about it or whatnot. But as you grow, we get to understand and learn that people have different opinions on things. We
Mm.
don't always have to agree with it, but we need to show a level of respect that I can say this. Okay, that's your opinion on it. I
Mhm.
can say this. Okay, that's your opinion on it. But it doesn't then become like, okay, you don't agree with me. We'll never see that person again. Because
Yes.
if we really valued the relationship, we'd know there's so many benefits of having a relationship with that person.
Mhm.
That is just that little disagreement. You know what I mean? As long as you and the other person have an understanding that, okay, I've been on this journey, I've come back, this is how I'd like to deal with things, and you move forward, you know, everyone can benefit from it. But if you don't, you're just like, that's it, I'm done,
Yeah.
completely done, and
Mm.
forget about all the positives,
Yes.
then you're kind of doing yourself an injustice, you
And a
know?
disservice to the relationship as well, because it's
Yeah.
it's it's easy to do that. It's very well, yeah, it's easy to do that, but it's difficult to attack the issue head on and try and
Mm-hmm.
get clarity. And let's put draw a line in the sand. And this could be business
Uh-huh.
relationships, this could be personal
Yep.
relationship, peer relationship. You need to, and as I say, it's difficult.
Uh-huh.
Me talking personally, I find confrontation difficult with people I know
Yeah.
because I just want things to be shalom. I just want peace. You know what I mean? I
Uh-huh.
don't like to have to, and based upon, you know, um, procedures, not so much procedures, but just people know you as a person. So to go outside of who you are as a person, you're like, well, why would you do that? I'm not down with that shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why would you say that, or why would you do that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's
And it's
it's.
that it's that sorry, go on.
I was gonna say it's tough, but it's all
Mm-hmm.
part of this learning journey that we're on. And
Yep.
I think the last year and a half has given the whole entire plane of existence an opportunity to sink or swim. Many
Yeah.
people have chosen to sink.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm treading water very nicely at the moment. I've done a swim.
Okay.
I've tired myself out a
Yeah.
little bit, and I'm just treading water again now. Being it,
Yeah.
it's the start of the year 2021, and at the moment I'm just planning, plotting, strategizing of, you know,
Hmm.
2021. What improvements can I make?
Yeah.
That's what I'm all about, man. Growth and
And
development.
you see that swimming, treading water or sinking, right?
Hmm.
It's like you could swim, but you could swim in circles.
Hmm.
I mean, you could tread water and stay in the same place,
Hmm.
but you could swim in a direction because you see where land is. You know land is in this direction. So
Yes.
you swim, then you have to tread water because you need to catch your breath.
Yep.
You need to figure out, am I still on the right path? Yeah. You start swimming again. But the people that just want to swim in circles, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take my time. If I swim slowly, I could keep swimming. But
Yeah.
you're swimming in circles, you ain't going nowhere.
Mm.
And that's the thing in life, right? If people just keep doing the same thing, right, and are not looking to move towards land in terms of moving towards, something that you can then build on top of, right? You're just gonna continue swimming in circles until you get tired, and then you're gonna sink
Mm.
because you don't even know how to tread water. All you know is how to swim in circles.
Yes, yes. And these analogies, trustfully, these are because this is what I like to do: paint these vivid pictures, mate.
Hmm.
You have to paint these vivid pictures. I try not to use big art, my vocabulary as much as possible because I want to
Hmm.
keep it simple, stupid. You know the acronym.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Let's just do that, man. Because at this precise moment, there are people who are awakening. I won't use this term woke. That's stupid stuff. That is. They're
Hmm.
awakening. They're stirring. You
Yeah.
know, they're in the process of actually. Maybe I should question this shit just because I'm I'm watching all this fear porn and all this stuff's happening. And but when I
Hmm.
look out the window, like when this first happened, Rock, I was saying to people like they were saying, "Yo, no, but yo, this is a real thing, you know. You can't take it lightly, you know, especially with your, conditions and all that business. Yo, stay safe, brethren." And I'm like, yeah, man,
Mm.
listen, you know me, man. I'm not around people like that. You know, I just do my thing. I said, listen, simply don't worry. I'm gonna come and
Yeah.
check you, probably next week or something. Yo, you see what the thing is though, you can't come and check me though, Regin, because this
Yeah.
corona thing and what I mean, I'm not letting nobody in my house and thing.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. So I so you know what that stuff you was talking before about, you doing the knowledge and you know
Mm.
this and that. Like what's changed? Like
Hmm.
why are you latching onto this, like all this fear porn, and you're not utilizing like logic? Like,
Yeah.
if you are telling me this thing's real and all these numbers that we're seeing every day on the damn news,
Hmm.
yo, go out to the top of your street, video call me, and show me these ambulances razzing up and
Yeah.
down the road, people falling out on the road and shit. You know what I mean? Show me the
Yes.
evidence, man. Go to your hospital, your local hospital, and go to the A&E and see how busy it is.
Uh-huh.
It's not what they're talking about, sibling. I said, yo, listen, I'm not saying that not Naguan, but it's not
Hmm.
as bad as they're making out. That's all I'm saying, sibling. I'm saying, yo, I'm still keeping myself safe. I don't
Yeah.
touch people like that anyway. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
For work purposes, I got gloves on. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? So if I'm going to go, if I go, when I go park up at a place of business that
Mhm.
I need to go visit, the first
Mhm.
thing I do when I leave that car, sibling, is I reach into my pocket, I put my gloves on, and I go in and do my thing. I come,
Mhm.
I come back out, take my gloves off, put them in my pocket, and that's it.
Yeah.
People think I'm finicky like that, but yo, whether it's Carlsberg 45, whether it's
Mhm.
Colt 45, Corona, I don't care. I'm not into
Mhm.
touching things and this and that business. I want to keep myself Kodesh, man. I set apart from all this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always had anti-back rolling with sibling because in
Yeah.
my in our business, you're going to places, you got to shake people's hands and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. These people in there just like, oh, let me fix myself, put my hands in my trousers and fiddle with my balls and that. And they want to come shake your hand after. Like, and people don't really think about it like that. If they see the person, like, oh, that person's disgusting or whatnot. But yo, you never know what someone's doing before they even meet you.
Exactly. Exactly. And the maddest thing, the craziest thing, sibling, is that, and it happens regularly. I go
Mm,
to service stations, obviously, comfort breaks and all that. You go in there
mm,
and it's just full of people like me, business people,
mm.
salesmen and
Yeah,
all that kind of thing, yeah.
yeah.
And I'm saying only a third of them will leave the urinals and wash their hands. Yeah.
Yo, this, that's the one that's just like,
And not even, yo, sibling, let's add to that as well. Not even just
mm,
urinals, they're coming out of the cubicles and you can
yep.
smell what's going on in, and you're not washing your hands. Huh?
You know what I mean? They've been in there, they put down this toilet seat or whatever that they do, they're touching up the thing to
Yes.
flush it, they're
Mm,
turning the handles. Who else has been in there
yeah.
that day?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Who else has been in and doing whatever they were doing before they even came into the toilet? You know what I mean? My process is to go in, wash my hands, then do what I gotta do, wash my hands,
Yeah.
use a towel, and come out.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because even before you go in there, the things that you might have to touch
Exactly.
door, before you even get in that door, bro. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna touch my genitalia, yeah, which is one
Yeah.
of my prized parts of my body,
This
and
is
just
it.
disrespect it.
And it's key word there, sibling. Disrespect it, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying I did that from birth, but over the years I've educated myself and just understood, you know, what happens and what people do and all them kind of things, and I'm just implementing them good processes and procedures into my life, to make sure that I'm as healthy as I can be. I'm not bringing things back.
Hmm.
I'm not taking things into my body that I wouldn't never, want that. Because, people, like you say, they go use the urinal, they go use the toilet, come out, go to a food place, touch up this, touch up that,
Yeah.
sit down, touch up the table.
Mm.
You
Door
going in there,
handles.
yeah.
Listen, right? So, as you've said, based upon experience, based upon time,
Mhm,
you've adopted these processes and these procedures to keep yourself safe.
mhm.
As of the zombie apocalypse, what
Yeah.
you need to do is we need to be more diligent. No,
Mm,
vigilant, sorry. They wasn't using the term diligence.
yeah.
Vigilant. And
Vigilant, yeah.
when we go to the toilet or to
Hmm.
the restroom, we need to wash our hands after.
Yep.
So that was the big thing. And then the other big thing, which which is quite laughable, it's
Hmm.
really laughable. But when you go to the grocery store, you get
Hmm.
your shit, and when you get home, you wash the tins. Like, well, why wouldn't you forget if there was some kind of deadly zombie apocalypse going? Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you do that anyway?
Yeah. That's my thing. And I mean, more so now, it's been like very like, this is a process. It's like you say, anybody in there touching up, oh, well, I like this. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna buy it today. Picking up this, picking up that, you know, cans
Yeah.
that people pick up and just like, you know
Yes.
where that's been. You go to certain stores there and you don't even see the fact that they have mice issues or rat
Exactly.
issues.
Gosh.
A mouse or rat pisses on everything it
Everything.
touches. It continuously pisses
Hmm.
as it's moving. That's how it finds its way back out.
Yeah.
So it's pissed all over your can. It's pissed all over your lips.
And that is a lot of disease.
Hmm.
Pardon self is transmitted like that. I
Yep.
if I can find it, I'll see if I can tag this in maybe to the imagery or something like that. But there was back in 2001, there was a report from Pepsi Cola. This
Hmm.
pops up. It hasn't popped up in quite some time, but it used to pop up every like 3 or 4 years, and everyone used to share it like periodically. And it was
Yeah.
like a little report thing saying was it Pepsi, Coca-Cola, not Pepsi Cola,
Mhm.
their warehouse in Brazil or some kind of place. It was a warehouse, South America
Yeah.
or North America. And they were talking
Mhm.
about how the rats are running all over the damn thing, pissing and shitting in
Mhm.
their warehouses. And obviously, that's just for storage purposes. And then those cans are then transported and broken down and then sold for retail. Now,
Mhm.
there's a disease, I won't even go for it, but there's a disease that you'll get from that kind of activity.
That flesh
Someone,
eating one.
it wasn't a not a flesh eating one, no.
Oh, okay.
But someone died specifically, and I traced it back from the Coca-Cola thing,
Mm-hmm.
from obviously them picking the can up, as you've quite rightly demonstrated, and just
Mm-hmm.
necking that thing, not even
Yep.
wiping it, man. Like,
Mm.
come the f on, man. When you pick the
Yeah.
cans up, you can see little grit in there, and this and that. What?
Hey, and that's the things we can see.
Yeah, with the naked eye, yes.
The things that we can see, the ones that are least likely to make you ill.
Mm. Excellent point. Excellent point. So, it's amazing, but at the same time, it's
Mm.
I guess it's good, because it's taken quite some time, but some of the population didn't think about these kind of things
Mm.
before, but now it's
Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah, we're gonna wash the stuff down, and
Uh-huh.
we're gonna wash our hands after going to the toilet, even though that's something you should have been doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's good things. So I guess, the cup always half full, as I always say. So
Mm-hmm.
some good things have kind of come out of it, and for some people, this lockdown has given them a total opportunity to reevaluate their life. And now they
Yeah.
have done that. They're
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote now living their best life because they've made
Yeah.
changes.
Mm-hmm.
They've started new businesses, maybe.
Yep.
People are winning. So many people I've spoken to have been like, you know what? This
Mm-hmm.
lockdown hasn't been too bad, I'm actually
Yeah.
like doing better than I've ever done.
Yep. It's a reset.
Mhm.
It's a reset. There's so many benefits, even though this thing's going around, and people are dying, and people having long-term effects of this disease and stuff like that. But if you are alive now and healthy, and in the last, we're coming up to a year now of this thing, if you haven't developed or built something new, educate yourself, taking a step in another direction to improve who you are, you've wasted a year.
Mm, facts.
You know what I mean? And this year, like, if you think about the amount of hours that people have had additionally, throughout this time, because they're not traveling to work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people not traveling to work. A lot of people not traveling back from work. A lot of people not going to friends' houses, spending time there and traveling. There's so many hours in a week that people have gained back from this. And if you haven't done anything more than just watch, series on
Netflix.
Netflix, you know what I mean? Then you're doing yourself an injustice. A lot of people are like, oh, it's giving me time to catch up on all these 7 seasons of something. Yo, throw that away, man. There's a time for education. There's a time for relaxation. You have
Yes.
to balance them. You can't just be relaxing all the time and having fun. Life isn't about every day you have fun.
Rock. Apparently it is. Life is one big flipping fun game, in it.
Yeah, man. No, like I'll tell you the truth. I watch a lot of YouTube, right? But the flip side of that is the amount of things I learn every day from turning it
Yes.
on. And it's not necessarily I'm taking all that information and be like, okay, that's the truth.
Mm.
Because I'll go out and experiment and see,
Yes.
okay, they talked about this. Let me look into it even further.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the key things I'll talk about, we'll circle back into the social media
Yeah.
aspect of things, is the new stuff that's happening with this social media tool, or
Mm.
this communication tool.
Yes.
I don't want to say specifically the
Yes.
name of it. But there's new rules that they're putting forward in terms of like how they're gonna, you know, take your data, take your information, mix it with other platforms that they have, in terms of like how can we market and sell you
To our
to these.
customers.
Yeah. How can we best enable these customer these companies to manipulate you to think you know what you want,
Hmm.
And a lot of people don't understand and think, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong. Why not have all my data? Because when you want to do something, yeah, that you think you want to do, they've put it in, they've already programmed you to make you think that's what you want.
Yes.
They put things in front of you, they'll send things in the mail, they'll send you emails, they'll, you know, you're searching for something via, Google or Facebook or whatever, you know what I mean? They're giving you information that is beneficial to them. It's not beneficial to you. You think it's beneficial to you because you search for it, but you haven't searched for it. And I mean, they've fed it to you.
Hmm.
It's like if you sit down and you say, "Oh, I'm gonna trust this person to feed me every day." You don't know this person, but you think, "Oh yeah, it tastes good. It must be good for me." Until 5 years down the line, you go to your doctors and they say, "Boy, this food you've been eating has been bad for you.
You got an
You
ulcer.
should have known it." Yeah, you know what I mean. You should have known this if you had done some research into what you were eating.
Mm.
You would have known this, but you didn't because you just wanted to be fed like a baby.
And
You
look
didn't
at
want
the
to go.
terminology though, sibling, as well. You've
Hmm.
got to, when you go onto these platforms, you've got to go onto the feed.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah, I like that, man. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
words have power, man. Words,
Hmm.
I highlight this pretty much every broadcast. Words have power. And they're telling you, yeah, go onto your feed and see what's going on.
Yep.
So the feed can feed your curiosity, and then whilst you're looking for your feed, we're going to secrete imagery and advertisements which
Hmm.
may be applicable to you. And as you're highlighting now, with the suction, the vacuuming of all the data, these
Hmm.
advertisements may come a little bit more poignant to you as they go
Yep.
on, and then
Hmm.
maybe it's a case of, oh, it's only $20 for that thing. That looks all right. That little cover. I'll have that.
Yep. Hmm. It's like that old saying goes, "You are what you eat." You know.
Facts.
And when you talk about the feed, you become what you're eating. They're feeding you the information and ideas that they want you to follow. The more you eat it, the more you become nourished by it or undernourished by it. But you think you're doing well.
It's like drinking water. Drink a liter of water and you're full.
Hmm.
You urinate a lot of it out, and then you're hungry again. You drink another liter, you're full.
Yep. Yep.
Empty
You
calories,
know.
man. Empty calories from these technocratic overlords, which are doing their
Yeah.
darndest to. I mean, as we highlighted, as we discussed pre-build, um,
Hmm.
the new monetization, the new gold standard, the new like nirvana of sorts is data. That
Yep.
runs everything. If you can get hold of data and monetize it somewhere, or give someone else access to monetize it, you are the
Yep.
man, and you're going to be paid handsomely for that there.
Hmm. But the key thing is how they use data, how we all use data, because we can all use data on people to our benefit. You know, if we want to promote something, we want to sell something, you know, but it needs to be organic.
Hmm.
Organic in the terms of you put the time in and the effort in to build your audience. Yeah, you should be rewarded for that.
Exactly.
Not I'm going to buy all of this and then I instantly got it because I have the money to buy all of this. I can get more money, and the little man is trying to sow his own seeds. Forget that. We got the machine that will sow 1,000 seeds when you can only sow one seed.
Hmm.
Before you know it, they got all the money, they're buying up your land, the planting in your land. The money that they gave you, you thought it was a decent amount of money until they make it worthless.
Yeah.
You got this money, but you can't do nothing with it. You can't make no more money off it because you bought all the land. You don't own anything anymore.
Hmm.
And it's the same thing with our data. If we don't own our own data and understand where it's going, at some point it's not going to have any benefit for us, because they're going to be able to manipulate every point, every data point that we have. They can manipulate it. And I'm not saying this is an easy thing, but people need to start educating themselves, sharing it, and think about what data they're sharing. Even if it's using an application, that application feeds back and says, okay, this person comes on here this time of day for this amount of time. How can I get them on this platform more? What happens? Ping.
Yeah.
Your phone pings, you pick up that phone, you're like, one of the social media platforms. Oh, someone's posted. Okay. Like, why did that ping? Why did I need to know that someone just posted something? I ain't even spoken to that person in how many months?
Or I don't even know that person. I just like the photographs.
I suggest you should speak to this. Why? What makes you think I want to talk to that person? But people would jump on it and be like, oh, okay, they're a friend of this person. Oh, so there must be a friend of mine. Let me add them.
Yes. It's tricky. It's very, very tricky. And as you say, people they've been desensitized to the ease of having, because let's not get it twisted. When we were coming up, right, we had mobile phones that we still have, which had the capability to text and receive calls. Now we're walking around with pocket computers.
Yeah.
And people they forget that they've got a pocket computer in their phone. I mean, in their pocket, versus, I mean, some people have gone really like old school and got them old Nokia phones, like them retro Nokia. So it's just like basic stuff.
Yeah, they're trying to be off the map, and
this is the things. Like, yeah, I've enjoyed the technology, but like, well, this is just it's too much now. This is just too much. Everyone, 24-hour access and contact to the whole world. You've got access 24 hours a day. People sleep with their phone right next to their bed.
Yep. If it pings, like, what's going on? Who needs me?
At its extreme. But at one point, I used to have the phone next to me, not for social media purposes, for in case of emergencies.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I have mine on, and it only pings with the key people. If they message me or call me at that time of night, I need to answer. Everything else goes silent.
Yes. So back to the roots of it. Like, I mean, again, communication. Remember when we used to have phone cards?
You know what I'm saying?
We'd be out in town and we have to go find a phone box with the something so you can put the phone key card something in there.
Yeah. If you weren't home and I called your house, I'm like, yo, my man's not in. Let me wait until later on. You know what I mean? And then when you came back, it wasn't instantly, I gotta call my man back. When you're ready, you come in, you wash your hands, you put in your house clothes, you eat some food, and you're like, yo, let me call Rock. You know what I mean? But nowadays, people seem to feel like if I message you, you need to respond. Yo, I messaged you 5 minutes ago. What's going on? Hold on. Who pays my phone line?
And on the flip side of that, Rock, we can go on a business, forget the personal element, the personal side of it. On a business side, because we're so like connected now. I sent you an email at 1:23 last night. How come you haven't responded? Well, hold up. You ain't paying me enough money to be responding to emails. Like, shut up, man. Listen, I've got to leave my house at 6 o'clock to get all the way up to Middlesbrough, right?
Yeah.
Which is a 3.5 hour. Listen, I am not stopping to look at emails and nothing. If it was important, you should have called me and then I could have told you verbally, right?
Yeah.
They use it as a get out clause. Some of these people, some of these manipulative managements, they want to make it seem like, look, I'm working all hours of the day, sir, and the nights. So I expect you in turn to do the same.
If I do it, you should do it. But my life is not your life.
Yeah. Listen, from when your prescribed hours are, say, for instance, 8:30 till 5 o'clock or 8:30 till 5:30, because they seem to be stretching these work hours, work days longer and longer. So
Yep.
outside of that, when it when it
Hmm.
when it hits that 18:30 or the 17:30 and you log off
Yep.
your computer, that's it.
Hmm. That's it.
Unless you're a
That is it.
manager and you're on call kind of thing, so people have
Yep.
have access to you. Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up and leave me alone.
Yeah. You're on call, and when you're on call, you get paid to be on call.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? It's not
Mhm.
like I'm on call, I ain't getting paid shit. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might do a little bit extra because you want to progress or you want to move forward or you want to sort something out so you can get on something else. That's your choice.
Mhm.
That's a choice of yours. But I was just speaking to my cousin the other day, or a couple of people over the last few months, and they've been talking about, yo, I'm working so much harder now. I'm at home. Like,
Shouldn't
huh?
That shouldn't be the case.
You know what I mean? They're working longer hours and putting in more effort. And I'm like, from an employer's perspective, I see the benefit from one angle, but also the other side of it, you need to make sure your people are happy.
Mm,
You keep bombarding these people and telling them, "Oh, you got to do all this, take this home, take that home."
yeah.
There's certain people that enjoy life more than just working every day. There's a work-life balance, and they talk about this in companies like work-life balance. Da, da, da.
Mhm.
Until they want to hit certain numbers, it's like, screw your life.
And it
We need to hit these figures.
simple thing. Yep. It, these conglomerates, Rock,
Hmm.
are a law unto themselves, man. It's the weirdest thing, and this work-life balance seems to be just talk. It's just
Hmm.
verbiage to make it seem like, oh yeah, oh, hey Rock, don't work too hard. You here extra
Yeah,
half an hour. Oh, come on, mate, come on, get off, man. Have a pint or something like that.
yeah.
Whereas, as you say, when that new project that has come out or that new promotion needs to get done,
Hmm.
hey, so you put in an extra three hours today, or like how much time have we got with you today? Like,
Yeah.
oh, let's do office. I'm gonna need you to come in at on Saturday at 9:30.
Yeah, yeah.
And listen, you're not getting paid for this.
Nah.
You ain't getting paid. No, 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 no. You just got to come in at 9:30, and we're gonna go through those figures, and
Hmm.
then everything is everything.
And I understand the people that enjoy their job to that degree. You know what I mean? There's certain times when I'm working, I will do extra time.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But I enjoy the aspect of it. And I
Yes.
enjoy the fact that I need to do this because I want to help this move forward, or we have a project going on. We want to make sure it's in place and certain things have come up that, were out of our control. I'm going to put that effort in and whatnot. But at the same time, it's kind of like the team that you work for, an organization that you work for, I have to understand that you've put in this time. So
Hmm.
say, for instance, I say, I need to go and do this. They can be willing enough to say, you know what, you've been putting in so much work. Okay, go and do that, get that sorted and come back.
Mm.
But when it's like, oh, I need, but no, you can't go out here, you can't do that. This is work hours. Then it's kind of like, how much do you value your people? You value
Ah,
the output from them. You don't value the people. You know what I mean? And organizations like that, I've tried to always move away from.
mhm.
You know what I mean? I've worked with an organization that I'm with now for how many years, and I feel for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but the value that I feel that they give to me is what I'm happy with.
And vice
Uh,
versa, Rock. Don't forget that there.
yeah, exactly, because the relationship I have with them and they have with me
Hmm.
is cohesive. We're moving in a direction. I'm building. I'm helping them build, and it's an environment where I feel comfortable. I get to know people. I share and work as hard as I can on things, and for me, it's comfortable. And when I say it's comfortable, in from a perspective of these are the things I want to achieve while I'm here, and they're helping me to achieve it.
Hmm. It's a
You know what I
symbiotic
mean?
relationship.
Yeah.
And I think employees, especially employees, not necessarily employers, need to
Mhm.
understand that it's a 50-50 thing. It's a fair exchange.
Yeah.
You've got to be confident in your abilities. You've got to be clear and concise with what you're prepared to do and what you're
Hmm.
prepared not to do. And my advice,
Yep.
especially for people who are just jumping on the the corporate quote unquote ladder is get
Mhm.
those things established straight away.
Yep.
When I've worked for corporations before or for companies,
Mhm.
one of the first things I've done throughout my interview process, whether it was a 3-stage, 4-stage, and presentation, all that stupid stuff, I've always imparted and left. I'm here to work, Mr. Employee, Mr. Company. Yeah.
Mhm.
If I can make friends along the way, that is a
Yeah.
bonus.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I am here to work for you to be profitable, you know.
Mhm.
So I'm not necessarily here to talk about my sex life or any other kind of stuff which is non-business related. And
Mhm.
I've found throughout my varied employment history that
Mhm.
there's so many unprofessional people in companies. It's not about work for them. It's like
Mhm.
work is their life in respect to
Yeah.
they don't have a life outside of work.
Yeah.
So they come to work to just to try and have sex with the people, them
Mhm.
to try and dominate people, to be horrible to people.
Yeah.
It's not just to go in and work. Like, my job is to do this. I'm gonna do
Mhm.
it. If that includes helping you, by all means, I can help you. But when
Yeah.
it comes to 5 o'clock, don't talk to me. Look, I'm gone.
Mhm.
See ya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't want to
You
be.
know, because sometimes we have to establish the difference between you being my work colleague
Mhm.
and you being my friend.
Exactly.
I have people that I work with that I can consider a friend now.
Mhm.
you know but at the same time, when I'm at work, everybody gets dealt with the same way on a professional level.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're friends outside, but if I'm not supposed to do this for you, I'm not doing it for you, because that's not what my role enables me to do. Outside of work, we can you know talk about other things and work on projects and stuff like that, but in the workplace, this is my job. You're not going to come in, and because we have some type of relationship, that you think that you can manipulate that to get more out of me. No, because I give the same to everybody, and
Exactly.
that's what I'm there for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never really have anybody coming up to me doing that, but I've seen people be manipulated from that perspective before, and I'm like, just because you get on with each other doesn't mean that you then do things that you're not supposed to do, because that's not your job description. That's not what your employer wanted.
Mm,
That's not the rules and the regulations of the organization. Don't extend yourself into something that you shouldn't be doing, because when you get pulled up in HR,
yes.
that person ain't coming behind you. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, like, when we were younger in school and stuff like that. We used to do dumb shit.
Uh-huh.
It's like my dad used to say, like, beware of where your friends take you,
Yes.
because they're not gonna bring you back.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
You know what I mean? So it's like that. People can be hands off, like, I
wasn't
said
me.
it, but it was up to him if he wanted to do it or not. You just need to know if you're supposed to do something or not. Um, yeah, the whole work thing. Um, where are we going with this? At one point, we kind of
We touched so much, man. We touched
yeah,
so much, man. Because it's rabbit holes, man. All of these topics we're touching are
yeah,
rabbit hole, sibling.
yeah, man. They can go deep, man.
They take you down some place. I mean, just touching on what you just said there, the
Mhm,
latter part.
mhm,
I've experienced in management positions where being in the environment we are in, generally we're normally the youngest people, the
mhm,
younger people. So for me to become management within this company,
mhm.
um, pretty quickly, I
Yeah.
experienced, as you said, people who were really happy and were like, yeah, yeah, blah blah blah, yeah, you're cool. I'm happy to work under you. And then people
Mhm,
who were like 3 times, no, at that time they were probably 2 times older than me, established,
mhm.
been in the company for donkey's years, experienced, knowledgeable,
Yep.
though
Yep.
that person should have been a potential manager, not me.
Mhm.
But because of their attitude and because
Yeah.
of their lack of professionalism, that's why they wasn't
Yep.
in the position. So when I
Mhm.
get the thing now, they're trying to take the liberties, sibling.
Mhm.
Why would I need to do that for? I'm like, because I'm your manager. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Are you trying to give me a hard time? For, yeah, I'm only messing with you, And it was just constant. He was
Yeah.
just always trying to give me a little issue to the point where I was like, look, it's all fun and games. Like you might think it's funny, but look, this is work in it, and this is
Hmm.
professional. Like, I don't appreciate all that stupid stuff, man. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we can have a joke when we're on break and whatever, but when it comes to me asking you to do something, not telling you because I
Yep.
don't tell people to do none. I ask
Hmm.
them to do it. Like I
Yep.
don't treat you any different to anybody else. Actually, I do slightly because I know you have a little bit more seniority, so you get that
Hmm.
element. But outside of that, if you need to do a task, you got to do it. Like
Yeah.
there's calls waiting, motherfucker. Get the
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah.
you know.
It's, it's like when your parents used to say, you know what, I'm not your friend. You know what I mean? If I expect you to do something, yeah, I'm expecting you to do it because that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not your
Yes.
friend. And I mean, I'm your manager or I'm your parent or, you know what I mean? I'm in a level of, um,
Authority.
to, yeah, authority. And I mean, because I've been entrusted that I can, manage a team or manage a process. And this is the way the process should go. So you need to follow this because this is where we're trying to go.
That's the destination, man. That's the rhythm. That's the
Mm,
drum beat you need to follow, man.
yeah. I'm not doing it because I hate you. I'm giving you all this because I hate you. Nah, I'm
Mm.
doing it. I'm asking you to do this because this is the direction that we're supposed to be going as a team.
Not as a
You know?
singular, as a plural, as
Yeah.
multiple people going into one direction.
Yeah, some people, they have to bump their head a few times and then realize, you know what, you're right, or the sin, the outcomes of their wrongdoings or whatnot. Like I've worked with young people, training them, developing them, and sometimes I've come across people with a stinkest attitude. I remember I had one guy that came in just thought he was the bee's knees, had the worst attitude about things, would try and talk to me in a certain way or whatnot. And I had to tell him, like, I'm here to do a job, which is to train you
Mhm.
to then go out and work for a client. Yeah. So all the things that you do, yeah, of what I've been trained to communicate to you, plus my experiences of what it's like to be in the workforce. So when it comes to communicating and talking to me, you need to talk to me in a professional manner because that's what you're expected to do outside. You should be doing the same here. He
Yes.
had this attitude to the point where I was like, okay, you ain't listening to me. It's going to come back to you. He ended up leaving, thinking that he was better out there by himself trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. I'd say it was probably 3 months later, he comes back into the organization, back into training, comes over to me and says to me, the way I was communicating, the way I behaved when I was here last time, now I understand what you were talking about. I've been out there and tried to do it with the
Yeah.
attitude I had when I was here, and it got me nowhere,
Mhm.
you know? And he was lucky enough to come back into the fold, and he applied himself and was dedicated and focused to the point where, when he finished all his training and everything, he got a role outside, he communicated me and saying thank you, things like that. And I've seen him grow. So it just comes back full circle to what we are talking about in the beginning. Sometimes you have to take and listen to what people got to say, you know, and think about the benefits of why they're telling you this. I'm not just telling you because, some people do. Some people just do things because they want to make your life
Yeah.
hell.
Yes.
Yeah. But you need to be able to differentiate the genuine people. And
Mhm.
when you find the genuine people, you need to think about what they're trying to show you. And then, benefit off the back of that and use that in your day to day or, to develop and whatnot. But I think a lot of times it's an age thing. You have to go through certain things. But I don't know, this newer generation here,
Uh-huh.
just there's something, I don't know. They're expecting so much
Yeah.
from giving so little.
I think there's some pluses. There's some pluses in regard to this. I see Generation Z be on there.
Uh, I
I
think
think
so.
possible. Well, whatever generation. These new agers, man. This is called them new agers.
Yeah.
They in regard they the pluses I can see from them is they they question the the overall narrative of life. they do seem to question that,
Mhm.
and try and think outside of the box. Like, we're doing it our way. We're just going to do this mumble rap thing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You know,
Yeah.
they're quite, well, not quite. They're very rebellious in that respect. Like, someone
Mhm.
tells them to do something. No, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. We ain't doing that.
Mhm.
We're gonna do something, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do something
Yeah.
different.
Mhm.
So in that respect, I think that's a good trait, but it just needs to be homed. It needs to be nurtured. It needs to be tailored,
Yeah.
to each individual, because everybody's got their own individual needs, wants, goals, aspirations, and all the rest of it. So it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, they've got these lofty goals, and especially now, crazy
Mhm.
lofty goals. They want to be famous. They want all this crazy money and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, there's routes to get there.
Yeah.
Now, which route are you looking to pick? Are we looking at a legitimate way to get there? Okay, that's gravy. Okay, so which legitimacy we're going? We're going down the athletic sporting route? Are we going down the music
Mhm.
entertainment route? Are we going to utilize technology? Like, how are we going to do it? Um,
Yeah.
and then also, where are their examples? Their examples are via
Mhm.
social media. If you're not on social media
Mhm.
doing the most, no one's
Yeah.
gonna see you. So no one can
Yeah.
see the example that you can bring forth. And
Yeah.
currently, the role models that are there, I mean, it took me maybe about an hour when that WAP song came out. It
Yeah.
was just flooded all over the feed. It was just flooded WAP this WAP, and I was like, what have I
It's
what are we talking about? And then
yeah.
I think I put a comment on someone's page, like something to the effect of, I must be old or something, because I have got no idea what on earth is going on right here. And then someone said, yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. I've looked into it and it's wet as pussy.
Yeah.
You what? Huh?
Yeah.
Are we really doing this? Are we really making
Yeah.
music to I mean, like,
Yeah.
90s maybe, like, 3 6
Mm.
Mafia,
Yeah.
like underground stuff, but mainstream.
Mainstream to the point that little kids tuning into this. I mean, following all the dances, singing all the words. Like I've been to just on this particular thing. I went to a concert a few years back, and they were talking about like, oh, what song was it? It was something about selling drugs or something like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
and the people were chanting it. To the performer. I was like, do you understand the words that you're coming out of your mouth? Do you understand what you're supporting right now? It's like these people just haven't, a lot of people don't have any idea of the content, but because it's being fed to them, we're supposed to eat it, you
Garbalito.
know? Yeah. It's like, it's odd, but there's no other kind of music. Yeah, there is music. You just need to go and look for it. You want substance, you go look for it. You go to the supermarket, you get used to the fact that the fresh food's here, the rice and everything is there, the meat to the back, the bread's there, and the junk is over there. If you
Mhm.
continue to go straight to the junk, that's your choice. I mean,
It's
I don't know,
it's
man.
it's very, as I say, as I keep on saying, very interesting times that we're living in. I can
Mhm.
see a definite divide. I can see a definite divide in everything,
Yeah,
in absolutely everything, in this vaccine thing, into looking for alternatives, and people just being happy and secure in their own skin.
yeah,
That's for me. My goal, and trustfully, this will be manifested a lot more um quickly in this
mhm.
2021 Gregorian New Year. I want to see the people actually. I want to get back to like the old days of sorts, where people enjoyed people's company, and
Yeah,
people were secure and happy in who they were. There wasn't so much. tied up in, I've got to spend £600 on this damn lace front weave thing and blah blah
Yep.
blah, and spend £30 every 2 weeks on these nail extension
Mm-hmm.
somethings and all this. Like let's invest in yourself. Let's spend all that money we're spending, all these thousands we spent. Let's
Mm-hmm.
let's go to the gym.
Yep.
Let's go to the gym. Let's go. You and your two sisters or your three sisters. Let's dedicate ourselves 3 times a week to get
Mm-hmm.
ourselves physically fit.
Yep.
Let's shed some of that thickness that we've got. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Not all of it, just some of it. Let's
Mm-hmm.
shed some of that there. For the overweight sisters, let's get your life back in order. For the overweight brothers, let's get your life back in order.
Yep.
Let's get those endorphins going when you go to the gym. And then after you've
Mm-hmm.
gone for a month and you see, raw, I've lost flipping X, raw, I can see, I can fit into these jeans again or whatever. Let's have
Yep.
some of that, man. And in turn, with your physical well-being transforming, your mental will start to
Mm-hmm.
transform.
Yeah. So much, so much in terms of where you will be in life is how much you like yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the key things. How much do you love yourself? I'm not saying love yourself in terms of being, I think I'm the shit. Everywhere I go, I think I'm the shit. It's how much you love yourself, not how much people love you.
Mm-hmm.
It's how much you love yourself. How much are you ready to dedicate time and effort to do things that are hard, pick up new skill sets, communicate with people that you don't usually think you have anything in common with. Build those things in your life, because it adds so much substance into who you are and how much you know about yourself to love yourself, because to love yourself is to know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't really know themselves. Like, they don't take the time out to say, you know what, I'm not feeling great at the moment. Let me stand back and figure out why I don't feel good about things. And then when you pinpoint the things that you understand about yourself that you're not happy with, then you take the steps to improve those things. Not just to leave it like, oh, if I forget about it long enough, it'll just disappear and I'll be
Yeah.
okay tomorrow.
Yeah. Mm.
But then Wednesday comes, you're back in the same spot because you haven't made any steps to fix that. So, one of the key things out of all the things we've been talking about today, it's all about, loving who you are inside and
Mm.
accepting certain things that, are about you that you can't change. Physical appearance, certain things you can't change. Back in school, people used to call me Big Nose.
Mm. Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
And what did they used
You
to call
know?
me, Rock?
I ain't even gonna say it.
You see, and as you've just highlighted that, if we wasn't strong individuals and didn't have the peer group that we had and stuff, that could have
Mhm.
destroyed us,
Yeah.
destroyed our confidence, our ability to want to interact with other people. We could have just totally regressed into a shell and just been like, you know what I mean, one of the
Hmm.
people who just got mobbed on every day.
And the thing is, it was all about selecting and choosing who were your friends, because the people who were my friends didn't call me Big Nose.
This is it.
You know what I'm saying? The
Hmm.
people that we used to hang around with, that were the tight crew,
Hmm.
no one ever used that term towards me.
Of course
So
not.
you can then separate the people that just want to take the piss, and you could be like, oh, okay, I can communicate with you, but you're not in my circle. I
Mm.
keep a wide enough distance from you so I can see whatever you're doing,
Yeah,
but I don't have to participate in it.
facts,
You
facts.
know?
As we wind this bill down, sibling, I would like
Yeah.
you to bring forth some solutions in regards to I mean, you have touched on it already, referenced the social media thing, utilizing a
Yeah.
laptop maybe rather than your device. But
Hmm.
what other solutions can we look at? Maybe alternative platforms, or outside of using a laptop or desktop, could you
Hmm.
maybe have a designated maybe tablet for the
Yep.
people who are just hooked onto it that doesn't have any personal information on there, whatever, and you just literally
Hmm.
use that for social media and stuff?
Yeah. There's some key things which focus on not being so comfortable with having so many applications on your mobile phone, you know, breaking down your time in terms of how much you spend on a platform. Okay. Some people don't know how to manage that. You create and have a tablet, right?
Hmm.
A tablet stays in your house. When you pick it up, you do scroll through the feed, find the information that you want, put it down. Because it's a tablet, it's not something that you're going to carry around outside all the time. Some people do,
Hmm.
but you're not going to carry that around like it goes in your pocket.
Yeah.
So you can already restrict the amount of time that you use that because it's a bigger object.
Mm.
you know Having a laptop, similar kind of thing. I think having a tablet is better than having a laptop, because a laptop can sit there and be open and you'll be doing other things and you'll be clicking through while you're working and whatnot, and you can get
Yeah.
distracted.
Hmm.
A tablet can just sit there when you want to be nourished or malnourished by the tablet. You pick it up, what I mean, you get what you think or what you think you need, and you put it down. That's one key thing. um yeah, so moving forward, I've taken um all the social media apps off my mobile. Some of them on my tablet, some of them are logged into just the web browser account. Yeah, not everything needs to have a an app interface. They're moving more towards that now. Say for instance, like Instagram, you want to post something, you need to have it either on a tablet or on a mobile device. Why is it that you can't log into your browser and post something on Instagram?
That's crazy. Is that new then? I take it. I didn't know that was.
No, it's been like that for years.
Wow.
It's because they want you to have it on your
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
to post.
Hmm.
And when you hear and certain things like that, you're kind of like, well, they're manipulating me and telling me how to use this.
Yeah.
For years, everything has had to have been through either you buy the application and you install it with a CD, or
Hmm.
you went on a browser.
Mm.
You know,
Some of the people them are like, "What are you talking about? Huh? Buy a
yeah,
CD with an app on it."
you know what I'm saying? Now it's download it. You
Mhm.
download it. Here's the thing: you're downloading it. Yeah, they know your IP address. Your IP address is connected to this part of the world,
Yeah.
this particular road, this particular area. Yeah. So in terms of when you register, you put in your name, your address, because you feel like, well, I need to make sure this application belongs to me. I need to put my right credentials in there, so if I ever lose it, I can get it back again.
Yeah.
But the exchange for that is exchanging your data to that person, so, or that organization. So you got to have like a little bit of I can't remember the word.
Skepticism.
Nah, and then anonymity.
Yeah, anonymity.
Anonymity. Yeah, when you're online and using these things, so you don't have to be the person online. Doesn't have to be the person that is in real life, because that's what they do with other applications. In terms of, you're posting all this good stuff about how great your life is. That great part of your life is probably like 5 minutes out of your week. And
That's
people think, oh, this
facts.
person lives like this every day in, day out. We watch it in music videos. There's like 50 girls in there, half
Hmm.
butt naked in swimming pools.
Yeah.
Oh, he must be living that life.
Mm-mm.
He lives that life like 5 minutes of the week.
At the most,
Yeah,
he might be like an hour every flipping 6 months when he's doing the shoots.
exactly. You know, so in terms of like who you are online, you need to manage that and really think about like how much of you want to put out there. I share the information that I share now is because I want people to build off the back of it and understand, okay, I can relate to that. Maybe I need to move forward in this direction or that direction, you know. Um, yeah, so try and remove as many apps off your phone. If you installed an app at one point because you wanted to check it out and see what it was like, and now you're not using it, remove it.
Mhm.
Any apps that you do have that you feel like you need, go into the background of that app and see what data it's sharing. Is it sharing your location? Is it sharing your microphone? Is it sharing your camera? Does it need access to all those things? Is it looking at your contacts? Is it stopping your, it can stop your phone from ringing or ring out from your phone or send messages from your phone. So all
Yeah.
these things that people don't realize that you're giving access. It's like saying to someone, here's the access to my house.
No, here's the keys.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the keys. If you come by, you come by. If you don't, you don't. But you're never going to be like, if someone's coming to your house, you want to know, okay, call me before you come. Or if you come and I answer the door, I ain't going to let you in because you didn't let me know you were coming.
You didn't give me no notice.
Yeah. You just showed up. Okay, you just showed up. Thanks for showing up. But doesn't mean that you automatically get access to my house. This is my house.
Yes.
It's my space.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? Unless me and you have a relationship like that, where it's vice versa, and I can trust you to be in my house, it ain't like that. And even so, you should call before you reach.
It's courtesy, isn't it? It's common courtesy.
And if I don't want to let you in, you ain't gonna feel butthurt about it. So it's taking back that, ability to manage who comes into your phone, who accesses your phone. Thinking about some of the platforms in terms of when they update their privacy and all those kind of policies. A lot of the time we just click okay. You know what I mean? You could just easily put the name of that application in your browser and just say, newest updates. Most likely someone on there will be either doing a video or written some type of
blog.
Some blog about what's new in it. You ain't gonna necessarily read through all the legal
jargon,
the legal wording and stuff, or the jargon, and try and figure it out for yourself. Because there's people out there that post all the time about what's changing and whatnot, and we kind of see that recent when someone in the highest one of the highest spotlights in media has said something, and everyone's like turning that direction now, which is a good thing. But people need to understand moving forward, these are the kind of things you need to be looking at. To people that know me, I've already communicated what's best coming forward in terms of these communication apps that we're using. So hopefully they'll tie in. And the people that don't know me like that, go and look at the platforms that you're using and see what's changing, what's coming up.
Interrogate them, as you say. I mean, there's a plethora of videos that are being shared via WhatsApp at the moment. There's a plethora of videos that are on YouTube about it, and as you say, there's blogs and all that. So do your due diligence, because data at the moment, or the last, I would say, 2 years or so, probably even longer, is king. Is king at the moment. And these companies, these conglomerates, are doing their darndest to be on top of that. They want to grab as much of your data as possible. They're swallowing up companies. They're buying these little apps here, there, and everywhere to make them part of this all-seeing eye kind of thing. So study to show self-approved. Be the best version of you can, as you can, for 2021. Two last things for your sibling. Two last things for you. Have you had fun tonight?
Yo, always have fun, man. When we talk deep and we have these conversations, yo, I always have fun because it's when I'm able to grow. I mean, that's when I have the most fun. As much as I've spoken, you've spoken too, and you've fed me, knowledge and understanding and things that I can, go back after this now and be like, you know what, certain things that you mentioned, I can go and investigate for myself and find a deeper understanding of it. And the fact that we've taken this time to do this, it creates the bond between me and you even stronger.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? So I appreciate that, bro.
Every time, sibling, man. Every time. It's just water that's just separating us, man. You heard?
For real, frequencies could cross water and land.
Every time, man. And as I say, light attracts light. Very last one. I know who you are. I know your name, sibling. Tell me who you are, but don't tell me your name.
Okay. So I would say that in a nutshell, I'm a young, well, youngish
We're
Um,
21, man. We're 21, sibling.
you know, young male, um, who is very focused and trying to develop and build. I'm not really going to go into too much details of my background. I just want people to think about where I'm going. Over this lockdown, I've picked up some tools, started to learn to DJ, something I've always wanted to do. I found there's ways of DJing that is now easier to get into that way of entertainment than it was 10, 15 years ago. And that's because I researched it and found out and stepped into it. Working on a podcast with three of my good friends, the Problematic Cookout podcast. We just finished season 1. We had 15 episodes, 15 banging episodes.
Yep.
Go and look for us on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Amazon Prime Music, YouTube, Instagram. We had a little few issues with Instagram, but we're getting that back up and running, and we're just about to start recording the second season. And we're all about empowering the listeners, sharing information, getting people to give some input that we can feedback on from our own experiences in life and our all different stances of life. So that's kind of me. I'm not afraid to try new things. I step into areas of sewing things with a sewing machine, trying to recreate and rebuild something. Self-confessed sneakerhead.
Oh yeah.
That's probably one of my biggest, my only addiction, or my, I wouldn't say downfall, but it's an area that I'm a bit soft on. But I limit certain areas of my life to enable me to, to be okay to, buy sneakers and be involved in that industry.
In that lifestyle, sibling.
Yeah, that lifestyle for real. And part of that is things that you couldn't afford back in the day.
Yep.
Where you can relive that part of your childhood that you missed. And I think everyone should focus on a key part of their life that as a child you couldn't get everything, and you shouldn't have everything in life, but there's certain elements of it that you might want to go back to and experience, as long as it's in a mature way of looking at it. Then go back and experience those things, because as adults, I mean, as a young person, I always think that when you get to an adult, you behaved in a particular manner, and you stop doing this and you stop doing that. As I've grown, I've come to understand that the childish things that we did are still within us.
Yes.
Because those are the fun elements of life a lot of the times, which we're able to bring back and experience. So never be afraid to go back and experience those things, as long as they're positive. They're not going to impact anybody else in a negative way. Do that. Yeah, last year I started working on some projects and doing some events where I'm trying to give back to communities and people, disadvantaged communities and people that don't have, by doing some charity events. We've been doing some paint, sip and dab events where I go online and I DJ, and my partner, she does a painting tutorial on people that come to the event. They pay for their painting utensils, and out of that they then give a certain percentage which goes to a charity. So we're trying to do that on a monthly thing. We worked on a business where we created masks for COVID, and not even just COVID, like anything else like that we might pick up in the air, the common cold, the flus and things like that. These things, if you're around people that are carrying it, the less protection, that boundaries that you have, the more chances that you're going to pick them up. So we jumped into that arena. We're selling masks, which is Mask House Co. Yeah, we've got a
All
few more
links
pipeline,
will be below. I'm telling you now, siblings. I'll make sure I put all the links in the description. Don't worry about it. Carry on, sibling.
Yeah, man. So I'm a person, I like to jump and try a lot of different things. And I think variety is the spice of life. That saying for me, it really sticks, is the fact that I can try all these different things. I'm
Hmm.
getting into photography now. I used to do photography before. I'm getting back into it now. I'm doing videography. I'm doing podcasts. I'm working with other people in their podcasts. I'm trying to, help them improve the quality of podcasts and tell them what type of tools they need and platforms. And
Mm.
I'm just keeping busy. There's no time for me to just be sitting and watching Netflix for more than 2 hours a week.
He said, I don't even have a Netflix sibling.
you know, like if I watch Netflix for 2 hours, it's because me and my girlfriend, we want to sit down and just not think about anything for
Yeah,
a bit.
just go somewhere else in it.
Yeah, and then switch off and then get back to
Reality.
reality, because I work hard. I try and learn new things and communicate and work with other people. And she's a hard worker too. She non-stop working. So I just really want to inspire people and be inspired. I don't want people just to think that I'm just out here just trying to, show everybody, what I'm doing. I want to inspire people. I want to connect with people that are doing other things, or they've understood how to do something better than me, and for me to connect with them and be like, oh, that's how you do it. Okay, let me implement that into mine, and vice versa share. So yeah, one of the biggest things for me is just building yourself, loving yourself, and then sharing with people to help them, love themselves and build as well. So that's the key.
Definite, man. Some trustfully, the jewels and some of the gems that were imparted in the build are
Yeah.
being digested. I know people heard what we were saying and what we was talking about.
Mhm.
Trustfully, they're going to be listening, most
Yep.
importantly, studying to
Yeah.
show themselves approved constantly, testing.
Mhm.
They're not being in echo chambers. That's another thing. Stop being in these
Yep.
echo chambers. Study to show yourself approved. Test your own theories. Test your own sensibilities, your
Mhm.
understanding, understanding, and overstanding of like where you are,
Yeah.
who you are, what's going on. Like question everything. That's
Yep.
if I could leave with one phrase, question everything. And
Mhm.
very lastly, I love where I am, but
Mhm.
can't wait to get to the destination.
Yeah. Loving that, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Loving that, bro. Yeah, man. One thing I wanted to just add, we were talking
Yeah.
about it earlier on,
Hmm.
and we were talking about people being in your life for a reason, season, or meaning.
Okay.
Those are the three things that you can go and digest what I'm talking about. But for a reason, a season, or meaning, you know,
Mm.
I'll leave it at that.
Give thanks. Right. Social media wise, throw them out verbally, and as I say, I'll make sure I put them on the description.
Yeah, so we have Instagram page, which is Paint Sip and Dab, and that's on Instagram. We have the Problematic Cookout podcast right on there. I have my own social media personal one, but I don't really share that because it's locked down.
Yeah.
Um, but from the podcast, we're also on all the social, all the sorry podcast download platforms, and on YouTube. Mask House Co., which is maskhouse.co. If you need a mask, if you're anywhere in North America, you need a pack of decent quality, no, I shouldn't say decent, good quality masks, jump up on there and check out what we got. And as I said, I've got a few things coming down in the pipeline. If anyone wants to get in contact with me, they can contact me on Rock Solid Productions at google.com. Anything to do with, podcasts, DJing or music, as I've been in those industries, quite a few years. Feel free, drop me a line and I'll communicate with you and see where we can work going forward.
Most definitely. Again, honors sibling for the entertaining and enjoyable builds.
Respect
Make
to you as well,
sure
my bro.
Every time, sibling. You know how we do the thing, man. You know how we do the thing. Make sure if you're not already subscribed to the Problematic Cookout, jump over there onto the YouTube. Very interesting topics,
Yep.
interesting characters as well.
Yeah,
Definitely
for sure.
subscribe, comment as well. It's the most important that you comment, like, subscribe, and most definitely share. If you just
Mhm.
stumbled across this year CFR Network, do the same thing, man. Tell a friend to
Mhm.
tell a friend to tell a sister to tell a brethren. Holla, like,
To tell their mama.
and then tell their mama. All them
You
good
know?
things, man. We need to, algorithm wise, censorship wise, if you're trying to be pro-righteous and bring forth solutions to make people's lives better, they're trying to block the shine, man. So it's vital you
Yep.
support independent platforms. And let's get these comments going, man. And trustfully, this conversation has sparked maybe a new platform, a new podcast to be created, a new social media platform to be created, a new
Yeah,
messaging.
man.
This is what it's all about, man. The ripple effects, inciting thought.
Hmm. Yeah, man. You gotta ignite to start the fire, man.
For shiggity. We out, man. Shalom, balance, and paradise.
All right, peace, y'all.
Peace.